What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Pack a Pod. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for Pack a Podcast. It's been plenty of weeks since the last time we recorded, and plenty of weeks since the Black Ops 6 Zombies drop. We've had a lot of time to go in and play. We've played both maps a lot, and we also have some brand new news of a new map coming out very, very soon. So we're going to give our thoughts on that. Also kind of talk about some of the Easter eggs. That's the main storyline, I think, of today's show, is just kind of the Easter eggs of both Terminus and Liberty Balls. And then we can kind of go through and do our draft at the end of the show like we always do. But first, let's check in with the boys. Boys, last time we talked about this, it was fresh off a week of the brand new Black Ops 6 Zombies. We've had a lot more time to play it now. And I just want to see if everybody's opinions stand. I know, Kyle, you were very firm on it being mid. Jay, me and you both said a little bit better than mid. I don't remember what Richie and Jumba said, but I would like to hear you guys' opinions. It's been a long time. Jumba, you're at the top of my leaderboards in everything right now. You've been putting in some time. I'm going to start off with you, Jumba. How do you feel right now, BO6? Are you still kind of in the same spot with where you were before? Where are you feeling about BO6 Zombies?
Well, I think I'm roughly in the same spot because that week that we recorded is actually the last time I played. But like, I just been busy with other stuff. Not that like I was having like any less fun. The reason I'm at the top of your leaderboards is because I knew I was free that week, and all I did was I grinded. I was trying to like get camos and everything. Like I was running Liberty Falls nonstop, like extractions at round 40. And shit like that, like around there.
Yeah, you're an exfil king, by the way, because like, dude, my exfil rate is 0.08, and yours is an astounding amount.
I mean, like, I was just like, it was double XP. I was trying to maximize that shit. So, and like, exfilling's pretty easy as long as you just have the, you have the thing.
Terrible story.
Mutant injection. Yeah, that's about it.
Me, Kyle, Jayhawk, and Richie tried to exfil last night, and we lost. There was one zombie remaining.
Bro,
literally,
I'm pretty sure
we couldn't find it.
Okay,
we couldn't find where it was.
I think it's a crawler.
That's happened to me before, but the worst is like there's been a couple times I've exfilled on like lower rounds, and like I finish everything, and it's like one zombie, and then a fucking abomination spawns, and there's 10 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not getting out of here now. I'm like, and then I just don't exfil. Like, how does that happen? But yeah, that's happened to me a couple times.
So even though you haven't played since then, I know you played a little bit today, and we still have a little bit before the brand new map. I think it's about a week before the new map comes out. But how are you feeling? Basically still the same?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I thought I had fun with it. I played it a lot, which clearly says I was enjoying it. But I had problems with, like, you know, the boss spam, like everything that everyone else was saying. So it's like, I was enjoying it. I wouldn't be upset with like playing the game that I have the game or anything like that. But like, you know, on the flip side, like I just always thought those things could improve. So I'm good with it still. You know, I noticed that today I finally got that Dark Ops challenge, the arm to the teeth. So that means that they fixed that because I did that twice and then I did the knife one twice and I never got those. So
there we go.
That made me happy.
As long as they fixed that. That one was one that we all struggled with because not because we couldn't do it, just because they straight up wouldn't give it to us after we did it, and that was pretty frustrating. Rich, I'm gonna throw it on down to you. Are you kind of still in the same spot? I don't know if you remember where you were last episode, but are you kind of still in that same spot with how you feel about BO6, or is it better or worse?
Honestly, I don't even remember what I said, but having gone through these past few days and actually sitting down playing it even more, I'm gonna say, like, especially after the Easter egg run that we did, and then even playing a 3-hour game afterwards of Liberty Balls. I mean, it's pretty fun. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh, it's the best, it's greatest. I'll say it probably is a little bit better than mid, just because, at least from what I'm seeing, the playability is there, or sorry, the replayability is there. So, I mean, I do enjoy it. Is it original? No. Again, boss spams, whatever, but
special spams, by the way, we got roasted on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
they're actually
technically they're actually special zombies, guys.
Yeah, so special zombies, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, the special zombies, boss zombies, whatever, I don't care. Come at me in the comments.
Most people don't care. Most people don't. It's just the people who just want you to love this thing so bad and not give any negative review of anything that it does. Those are the people who spam that shit.
How many manglers? I was just going to quickly ask. Does anyone remember? I think we talked about this a bunch, but how many manglers spawned back in like What map was it in Black Ops 3? Grorod Grovey. How many would
Grorod
spawn
Grovey.
per round?
Not this many.
Like 2.
Not this many.
2,
Okay.
maybe 3.
Okay,
It
I
wasn't
just I
like
can't
this.
remember. I was like, because I know not this many, but I was like, did multiple even spawn? Because like the reason I was saying that is like, were they even considered special zombies back then, or were they considered boss?
They were
zombies?
more
Like,
bosses, I think, then because they spawned at a less high rate. And I do remember like playing Gorod, you would get 2 at the same time, be like, oh shit, this is difficult. But yeah, the rate that they're spawning. I mean, earlier today, me and Jay were playing just a random duos game to get camos or whatever we were doing. Challenges.
It was not a duos game, bro, because I was.
Oh, Richie
there.
joined late.
What
Richie
the
joined at like
fuck,
round
bro?
30 something.
Yeah,
that's
we were like
crazy.
around
Forgetting
40.
about Richie.
So we're playing, and it's like Jay's like, "Hey, I've got 3 over here." I'm like, "Okay, I've got 4 by myself." We got an abomination. He's got 1 up there. It's just crazy what they're doing with these special zombies.
And in
But,
Cold War,
yeah.
was it like that? Like
Cold
you guys
War?
play
It was
Cold War?
like this. Cold War.
War,
It was like this.
The only
Yeah.
difference with Cold War is that there would be like 3 different types of zombies it would spam. So like when you play like Mauer, there's the disciples that are like these flying dudes, and they also like turn zombies into like suicide bombers that sprint faster at you. So you got to kill those pretty fast. And there's the Panzers and the Manglers, and like they're all actually I don't even know if Panzers were in that game, but anyway.
Panzers were in the game.
Yeah,
Now that you
so
see
there's
that-
just like a variety of ones.
Yeah,
you know?
Gorod had like those robot flying things, which I would
Yeah, the
consider like
Valkyrie
the
drones.
special zombies, and then
Yeah.
or the special enemy, and then you got your okay. I couldn't remember. I couldn't like it's been a bit, but like yeah, that's
Yeah.
I was curious. 'Cause
Yeah.
of, like, the-
Also, like the
terms.
thing that was so frustrating was when I put that clip out. By the way, follow us. Grab my banner on TikTok. That's where I posted that clip. Jay had corrected himself on what maps these zombies were on, but I'm doing like a 60-second clip, so I'm just trying to put it all together. People got so hung up on that, it actually blew my mind. It was like he legitimately corrected himself, but you know.
Well, they got hung up
it's the
because I said
internet.
it was on every Cold War map, but it's not. They're not on D Machine.
Yeah.
Sue me. They're on
Sue
the
'em.
other 3 maps.
Well,
Sue
do
me.
you ever think that this could be like something that we could read into Jay's personality about bigger problems and how he gets facts wrong? Like it could be that. Like that could be the thing.
They're on every Cold War map. Sue me. They're not on
Sue
D
'em.
Machine. Dear God.
Kyle, I wanted to go to you real quick because you were the one who was probably the most negative at the time, and now you've had a lot more time to play both maps. You've done both Easter eggs. Your thoughts, kind of now, is it still kind of this is very mid, or do you have like a change of heart, change of opinion on these at least Black Ops 6 zombies?
I'm kind of waiting for more maps to come out, but now that I kind of learned like what are like the quote unquote good guns to use, and like what are the stuff that you need to use in order to get to like higher rounds and stuff like that, I feel like it's a little bit better. I didn't like that they nerfed the kill streak so much because now it feels like I'm kind of in a shitty spot. If I use one, I don't get as much stuff from it. But I think the game ultimately is a little bit better than mid now, in my opinion. I enjoy it a lot more. I think there's a lot of fun things that they added in the game that are good, and like a bunch of mini Easter eggs that are cool. And those Dark Ops challenges I think are really nice, and they're going to keep players playing longer. But you know, the boss spam sucks. I don't know why the fucking shot follows you on the Manglers. I don't think it should follow you. It's never followed you before. Still pisses me off. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. But I did enjoy the boss fight in Terminus. It was really fun, really interactive, and I've done it twice. Failed it once, got it the second time. And the Liberty Falls Easter egg fucking blew. I get that
We'll
that's
get there.
We'll get
I-
there.
I get that was like another map they just like threw in. But like when I go to level up guns, I always play Liberty Falls. I never play Terminus.
Yeah.
I'm only playing Terminus if I'm trying to do the Easter egg, or if there's like some other Easter egg thing that I'm trying to do. If I'm just trying to play for fun, I think Liberty Falls, we hated on that map a shitload when we first
shitload.
started.
Yep.
And I think that now I think Liberty Falls might actually be the more fun of the two maps in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Wyatt talked about me being at the top of the leaderboards. I think if you go look, like I have played like 95% of my games.
You don't even show
Falls.
up for Terminus ones
Yeah.
because you have to play minimum
you have to play 5 games. You
No,
don't
I
even
played
show
more
up.
than 5 Terminus. Something
don't
got
show up?
reset.
You don't show up, bro.
Okay,
Maybe
but,
you've only
like,
played
Kyle,
4.
Playing with Kyle today, I got to round 11 and it goes highest round. And Kyle tells me, yeah, they reset everyone's highest round. So they clearly reset a bunch of stuff because I had like round 51 or 52 on on Liberty Falls. So I don't know if it like reset my stuff since I played.
I think it's just a glitch because I looked at the leaderboard yesterday and your highest round was still in the 50s.
Okay. Well, like today, as I got out, like at 39, it said like highest round 39.
Yeah, it still says that for me,
Like-
even though I've seen on the leaderboards it's
Okay.
not my highest.
It still says 50s. Well,
Yeah.
I've played more than 5 Terminus games. I know that
You
for
don't show
sure.
up? I don't know.
You know what?
You don't show up?
Call of
I'm just
Duty
saying.
and leaderboard or party issues. When have those ever been a thing in game? You know,
Never.
when have those ever been a thing?
Never.
Not once. Not once. And then, Jay, that leaves me and you. I mean, me and you were both kind of the ones saying, like, we kind of put it firmly a little bit above mid. Are you kind of still in that same camp?
Yeah, I think my opinion has actually been more positive since time has passed because I do like some of the ways you can change the way you play with like the augments. Like at that point, I don't think any of us had really done anything with augments. When you unlock them, I feel like it makes certain perks like way more fun or better. It alleviates some of the issues, like for example, how we were complaining about like it's impossible to reset. Well, when you get quick revive, there are ways to kind of like overcome some of that stuff when you get certain augments for it. Melee Macchiato is even cooler when you get that shit upgraded. So, and at the same goes for like the ammo mods and like the what's it called, the field upgrades too. I feel like augments are really cool, and I just like the way that you can like kind of play the game differently. So I think it's fun. I think for the old games, I don't know. I almost like separate the Cold War BO6 era from those because this feels more fun. But in terms of like a challenge, difficulty, like pride when it comes to high rounds, all that kind of stuff, I don't really feel any of that. I more so just like want to run around and like power drill abominations with Wyatt, where we're just like spamming it over and over and just like laughing our ass off, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I have a lot of fun with it, and it really has to do a lot with the different challenges and different things you can do. And I've talked to Jay, I've talked to everybody about this a little bit, where I really wish at the very least the Dark Ops challenges were back in some of those older games. I feel like it would have been so
You
fun
never
to
talked to me
have
about
like
that.
a not
You and
jumbo,
I
I
talked
guess.
about it
Don't
last
even
night.
include it. I'm not even including everybody anymore. Well, just fucking excluding me from everything. We'll get to that too. Just get to that too.
My fault. Hand up.
Was
But
never. I never had that conversation. I feel left out.
I do really wish those were in there. Like it just adds a whole
Yeah.
other element to the game. And I think the augments too it's such a good idea. And we had talked about in Cold War how it was frustrating that you could just get the Dark Ethereum or whatever it's called and basically just become a super soldier when you were playing Cold War, because there was no like, I have to choose this or this. It was all, I can just get whatever I want. The augments have been great because I've thought that things looked a lot better on paper than they actually were. I used them and I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm going to go back to what I had before and just kind of do like a different augment set for whatever game I'm about to play, whether it's going to be a high rounding thing or whether I'm just trying to get a certain gun leveled up to a certain level, whatever it may be. I think the augments have added like a whole awesome new layer to this game that I'm really happy about. And it just makes me wish that some of those older games had that in there, because while I do love the feel of the older games a lot more, where it was very fearful, I think Jay said this on the last episode, there was an element of fear there, and not like legit fear, like, oh, I'm going to shit my pants. It was more of like I can get hit twice and I'm dead. Otherwise, like I have to make sure I'm playing the right way. This one doesn't have that necessarily, but what it does have is a lot of different movement and layers to it, to where you have to make sure whatever you're grinding for, whatever you're trying to do, you can make sure you have the right setup for. So I really like that. And I wish, you know, if there ever becomes a super game, a super zombies game, I hope they add that in there somehow, because I think it would just be a fun way, a fun little twist to everything. But I still kind of stand at where I'm at. I have played Liberty Falls a shitload more, and that's no disrespect to Terminus. I think Liberty Falls is just a great, just have fun map. And when I did play Terminus for this Easter egg run, I realized like this is really they hit the vibe perfectly on what they want, what you want to do for a zombies map. They hit it perfectly. It's just because I love Liberty Falls so much and what I can do with it, I just spend more time there. But
Liberty Falls
yeah,
is just more
Just
simple.
casual,
So when you want to do dark ops, when you want to grind camos, like all these like kind of random things where you're not trying to like play zombies, if you will, like Liberty Falls is perfect for that because it's just a simple map, you know.
yeah, it's so
If they were
simple.
to have taken like the vibe, just copy paste it from Terminus onto Liberty Falls, give it like a night mode option or something, that would have been dope. But
Yeah,
I mean,
best of both worlds, intersection
I
right there.
think that would have been better, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, boys. It is
But
what
a lot
it is.
of what you were saying, Wyatt, I was just gonna throw out, like the cool thing about this game is it gives you so many different reasons to go and play. Like I don't think I would have, like you could have done it for like a challenge, but I don't think I really ever would have jumped in and just did like knife only. But this game is giving you a reason to like knife only, and then the Dark Ops challenges give you a bunch of different reasons to like play for those and play in different ways. Whether it's like the knife only challenge or like trying to get fully kitted out, like all those different things. Or there's one where it's like don't get hit until round 20. Like you had to impose those challenges on yourself before, whereas now the game gives you a reason to go for those challenges. And then the other thing is like with the augments. Again, the reason I was playing so much and I was exfilling so much is because I was like trying to just get max XP and like max all that stuff out. So I had a bunch of free time that week and I was just grinding hard, like procrastinating on a bunch of stuff I probably shouldn't have been, and then and just trying to max it out. And like it gave me a reason to hop in every time, where it's like with even the old zombies formula, as much as I love it, you know, other than high rounding, after a couple of games, I probably would have just stopped playing. Like if I had one high round game, I probably wasn't diving back in. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I talk about too. And like technically in this scene, we would be considered old heads because we were there from the beginning, or basically the beginning anyway. And what I will give credit to the younger generation of zombie players when they talk about like why this version of zombies could be potentially better than what we view as better is that when you were playing old zombies, technically, unless you were doing the Easter egg or unless you were high rounding, there wasn't a whole lot to go for. Now, camo grinds can get very tedious, and Jay's pointed this out to me before. It's like it can get to the point where when you do finish, you don't even want to play anymore because you're just like, all right, well, what else is there to go for? But at least with the Dark Ops challenges, and I hope they add on to these in the future. I hope they keep adding more Dark Ops as the game's future goes along, because I think that would be perfect. Make them harder too. Like just make some crazy Dark Ops challenges. Like that gives you something to grind for. And I think in the older games, after you beat the Easter egg a handful of times, after you get your high round for whatever it is, it's like when me and the boys would play, I think that's why we took a break from zombies for so long. Like we had talked about, for us as a group, as a collective, after Black Ops 2, there was a pretty big hiatus before we picked zombies back up. And I think it's just because you reach a point where you're like, dude, I don't want to high round anymore. Like, dude, I've done the Easter egg this many times. That's not what I want to do anymore. At least with this one, it gives you a few more options, a few more avenues to go down to continue playing. And I respect that. I like that. And that's why I wish it was in some of these other games. And, you know, it's fine that it's not. I just think it would be a cool feature to be added in the future.
One thing that is interesting too that we have as a group not delved into yet is I do know that there are Dark Ops challenges for speed running the Easter egg. And I want to try one of those one day because we've never done anything in terms of speed runs in any of our zombie stuff. I mean, all of our Easter eggs throughout the history of this pod have been like 3 hours long. Like we take our sweet ass
They take some time. They take some time.
Yeah, but I think it'd be fun to maybe try and do like the speed run Dark Ops stuff where it's like, all right, we got to be uber efficient, you know, and it's like very set things, you know, we're trying to shave off time here and there. So I think that'd be fun.
I'll never
No, that would
forget,
100%.
I'll never forget the quote. None of our Easter eggs have taken more than 2 hours, guys. And then that night we went for 4
right
fucking
before the
hours.
buried one.
Right before we
Well,
went
I didn't
for
know
4
that
fucking
Kyle
hours.
was gonna, you know, miss some targets and then apparently be gaslit by Kyle by Wyatt because he wasn't missing targets and it was actually Wyatt who was missing targets.
And the fucking wisp step. And the fucking wisp
The
step.
that was a
step.
genuine skill issue
issue.
on all of us.
Yeah.
Issue.
No, that was my favorite. That's one of those, like when we go through Easter eggs, typically what I feel at the very end is relief. Like when you hear Jay celebrate after an Easter egg, he's excited. Like we did it. I feel relief. I'm just like, oh, thank God. Like we did it. That one, I was excited. Like I was so excited. That was like
Yeah.
my most excited one I've ever been.
You were like
because
whisper yelling.
I,
Let's go.
It was like
Let's
3.
go.
It was like 3 a.m. for me or 2 a.m. for me. I don't remember how late
Like
it was. It was
like
late.
2 for you, yeah.
It was hella late, but yeah, that one was great. Speaking of Easter eggs, boys, before we get into the brand new map, which we're going to talk about here in a moment, I want to touch on the 2 Easter eggs that we have completed. Now, Liberty Balls, it was me, Jay, Kyle, and then I don't think Richie
right?
was there. No,
No,
Richie
no,
wasn't there
no.
for Liberty Balls. Who was
No.
our 4th?
Was it Connor?
No, it wasn't Connor.
It was Chris, wasn't it?
That's also-
Brian?
It was Brian.
Oh, it was
Brian.
Brian.
It was
Brian.
It was
That's
Brian.
right. That's
Okay,
right, because
so-
I got the fucking notification
It was
at
Brian.
3 in the morning, bro.
Nah.
It was
The
Brian.
Apex, the podcast is live. It was like,
We got to
they're
add
doing
him
the
to
Zombies Easter
add
Egg,
him
aren't
to
they?
the
They're doing the
record.
Zombies Easter Egg.
For
You guys
context,
used Brian before me? That's
hold on,
insane.
For context, we did not intend to do the Easter egg when we started that game. Brian was like, y'all just want to play some zombies? We played some zombies. But I realized, like, Kyle's going to build the jet gun. The Easter egg's, like, pretty easy. Why don't we just, like, do it? So we did it, and there you go.
Yeah, so it wasn't our intention, but we did do it with Brian. And then the second one on Terminus, it was me, Kyle, Jay, and Richie, and we were able to complete that one. Now, there was a Terminus run with Jumbo from before. I'll let Jumbo take the floor real quick. I just want to hear from your side what went wrong in the first attempt.
Yeah, I threw. I went in with that sniper that uses that turns into the scavenger, and okay. First of all, I was talking to Kyle right before this podcast. I need to review the tape. That shit, I'm pretty sure, was bugged. I would shoot the zombies and I'd shoot the floor with PhD, and although I wouldn't take damage, I was getting stunned constantly throughout the entire game. So I think it was bugged. I'm gonna review the footage, see if I'm just like gaslighting myself here, because the problem was I kept going down early. But I'm pretty sure I was going down because I kept stunning myself and the zombies would all smack me and I'd die. By going down so much, I had to keep rebuying my perks, had to keep rebuying all my gear, that I wasn't able to get my second gun to like a high enough pack level. I think I had it like single packed going into the boss fight, and we were on a really high round and we didn't know how the boss fight would be. And my scavenger, which everyone talks about this gun being insane, the fire rate was too slow, and it just
For context,
unfortunately
everyone,
did not
we're
have
talking about that LR sniper. They keep
Yeah,
calling it
the
the
LRs.
scavenger, the LR.
the LR, the one that when you pack a bunch of it turns into it has explosive rounds. But like the fire rate is just too slow that I wasn't able to unfortunately put out enough DPS. And I will take the thing there that I didn't carry my weight because I went down too much. But I'm going back to the fucking footage, man. I know that shit was bugged. If I get stunned even once, I'm writing it off. It's
Jumbo,
like that wasn't my fault.
I would do the same thing you're doing right now. I would do the exact same shit, so I respect it. Richie?
So one thing we could learn from this real quick. First off, we have learned that Jumba does go down. 2,
I do.
me and
Women
Jayhawk
love me. Women love me.
me and Jay, we were playing Liberty Balls, and we both had the LR sniper. So it does, at least from what I see, it does kind of. It doesn't necessarily like I wasn't feeling like it was stunning me too much, but I feel like it does have an impact on you. But I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed using that sniper. I just picked it out of the box. I was like, fuck it. This is what I'm going to run. I'm just going to pack a punch it. And triple pack, that thing fucking slaps. But, I mean, I don't know. Did you have any different opinion on that, Jay?
I don't think it was glitched. I did notice the stun thing that you're talking about, playing it today.
Okay.
But I think it's when there's like a zombie like right up in your grill and you shoot, there's just kind of like this aftershock because of the explosion that just slows you down. So I started to adopt the strategy of running and jumping, and when I would turn and jump, I would shoot, so that I wasn't like ever next to the shot, because I was like getting space between me and them when I would shoot, because we were on like super sprinter rounds. So they were always right up. That's when I really noticed it, is when they were right up in my face with the super sprinters, and I would get stunned, and then like 3 of them would hit me, and I was like, what the heck's going on? Because I was like, am I gonna die? And so that's when I started doing the jump thing. So yeah, I do think it kind of stuns you if there's something like super close.
No, I'm also not going to lie. That game, I think I had a little bit of an ego because I had been running, like I said, tons of solo games and like not dying. Like I would go to 40, like I'm like, this game's easy. Like I'm not going down ever. But like once you play with 4 people, you have a lot less space to work with. And yeah, that was definitely getting in the way too. And see, all I had also used in the game is snipers. Like I have the snipers all gold, like and like everything like that. I really haven't used many other guns other than the sniper, so I thought I would be good with the sniper. If I had the frost line, completely different game. I think we complete it there. But yeah, you know, I threw. I'll admit to it, I threw. But you know, seeing that you guys did Terminus with Richie, I saw it. You guys did it right while I was in Apex scrims. I'm like, you know, Jay was coaching us, and then all of a sudden, Donnie comes back. He's like, Jay's playing Terminus, and I get a notification. You guys went live on Twitch. You fuckers waited till I'm busy. Fuckers waited till I was busy. They don't want me back in there. They knew I threw the first time, but then I saw it was Richie, and I was like, you know what? If it's anyone that's going to take my spot here, I'm cool that it's Richie because of the fact that, like, you didn't get to do any like the other ones for us.
Yeah.
Which I also did see. I also do remember seeing. But
if it was Brian, I would have said it's on site for Brian.
Jumbo, I'm going to be honest. Like, if I saw that any of you guys did an Easter egg without me and Brian took my spot, I'd feel the same.
That's fucked up.
That would hurt.
That's fucked up.
That would hurt.
And
that
so
would
wait,
hurt me.
Jay, you made the call to like just do it on a whim? That sounds.
Well,
Richie,
hold on.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You're telling us you
bro.
saw the alert at like 3 a.m. We never assume you're awake at that point.
When did I?
Like,
No. Listen, I wouldn't have woke up. I meant like don't play at that time and like wait till I'm awake.
well, don't blame us. Like it's okay. Hold on. Let's.
To be fair,
wrap
when
up-
do I not sacrifice my sleep schedule for these Easter eggs, boys?
True.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna
That
throw
is
out
true.
you're awake. You're awake when we start, as opposed to waking up midway through when we've decided on round 12 to do the Easter egg.
They play
hold on.
late our time. I definitely play early. So, I mean, our schedules can align, but we could get Brian in a game, you know, run some Easter eggs.
Get Connor in there, 'cause Connor hasn't finished it either.
We'll do it with Connor.
So let's finish Terminus real fast, though, and then we can talk about Liberty Balls, okay? Terminus, number one, yes, we did fail that one time. I think one of the big things that sucked, too, is on the final phase when he slams. I don't remember who it was, but me and somebody else were on the other side of him when that happened, and he does not lift his tentacles back up. So you have to like go into the water and I think swim around and climb the ladder, but it's filled with gas and we died. Like we couldn't even make it.
Shit.
And so that was when we did it with you, Jumba. And so that's why
I
two
didn't
of
know
us
that.
died.
I didn't know that. I think I died to the slam. I died.
You
to,
guys
like,
died
big
to the slam,
Yeah.
but there was the
I
other
died
two
to
of
the
us who
slam.
did not die to the
So it
slam.
must
We
have been you and
couldn't get
Connor.
around to you guys to rescue you, and we just died, and then the game ended. So we learned from that. We were much faster this time. We were much more efficient. One big change, and if you haven't done any of the Easter eggs on this game yet, you need to go level up the GSP pistol and get that thing to level 31 akimbo.
Bro, I had that and I used the scavenger instead. I should just use
that
the fucking
thing
pistols.
is utterly broken.
I should just use the fucking pistols.
They're disgusting. So I was the only one in this boss fight that had it because Kyle he has it unlocked, but he wasn't high enough level because he had prestiged, so it wouldn't let him get his custom version when he used the gun. So I was the only one that had it, and so when we used it in the boss fight, I was doing 12,000 damage per bullet. For context, a triple packed ray gun was doing 4,000 damage per bullet.
Shit.
And the
It's
difference
gross.
is the ray gun, you have to, in the time that you shoot one, the pistols with the Kimbo, I'm shooting two. So I'm doing 24K, you did 4K. Like those pistols like were straight carrying that Easter egg. So
This
that
is when
was
you guys
gross.
did it U4.
Yes, when we completed it, I was using the pistol.
The first thing I did when I played like Black Ops 6 is I leveled up those guns. That was the first thing I did.
Right.
So I've had them like since like day 2, leveled up to around like level 31.
I knew we were gonna do the Easter eggs at some point, so I
Such a
leveled them up
fumble.
because I had heard people saying they were absolutely disgusting for boss fights. So yeah, they absolutely were, and I was the only one that had it. If we all four had it,
It would have been
we
so
might have
easy.
destroyed that boss like instantly. It would have been so fast.
Yeah.
Also, we learned a lot more when it came to like how to stay alive in the boss fight. I think we did a way better job at staying behind the boxes than we did our first time. Part of it was my fault the first time because I learned from this and told Richie he had the beam smasher. Doing the left trigger where it slows all the zombies down. You also do more damage to the zombies with normal guns after that. But him just slowing down, all he did was focus on slowing zombies down and letting us focus on the boss. And so it just made it so we had space to run around. We weren't constantly overwhelmed by zombies. Where when I had the beam smasher, I was just shooting the boss with it the whole time and never slowed anybody down. So that helped a lot. And yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It was a good run. The only weird hiccup was I got pulled in by an amalgamation and I got glitched into the side of the map where it was like round 15, 16. I don't remember what round it was, but I had already had like I think I had one gun packed to level 1 already. I get pulled in by an amalgamation.
We
and
just
then
finished
I can't
the Nathan
move.
boss fight, so we're down in the pack-a-punch like area.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't move, and I'm like telling them, I'm like, I don't know what it is, I can't move.
I'm looking for him. I don't see him.
I'm looking up top.
Oh shit!
What just happened? I'm like lagged out in the wall.
Are you stuck?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm like
found
I'm
him.
literally stuck.
I found him.
Can you get him out?
No. I think he has to kill himself.
I just can't move out of here.
I know you.
Oh
I think
shit!
you literally have to kill yourself. I think.
Use nades.
I have fucking
you
the
don't
combat
have
axe.
Richie, let the zombies
Yeah.
kill him.
Okay.
The zombies are just walking right past him.
They're walking right past me, dude.
Oh, thank God, man.
I would crouch and then I couldn't get back up, and then I went prone, could not get back up. So the only thing we could do was they dropped me a grenade so I could kill myself.
We
So
had to,
we're
like,
basically
carry a grenade by swapping over and over to bring it to him.
Yeah. So I have to kill myself like right after we had finished a major step in the Easter egg, and then I had to basically restart.
Actually,
Our only hope is to kill a zombie near him and hope he drops a grenade and he can pick it up.
You grab
oh,
this
there's a
Molotov?
Molotov right there.
Yeah, I dragged it over here. You can drag it.
Combat axe, there it is. I just throw it at the ground next to myself.
Yeah, just try
Yeah,
and kill
yeah.
yourself.
How do you drop it?
You just pick up another one.
All right, Wyatt. There's a grenade right here.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Try to
Hold
figure it
on.
out.
Let him scoot out. Let him try to scoot out.
No, it doesn't let me. Just let me
let
die.
him die.
I
Just
think
let me
you're gonna
die.
have to bleed out. Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to bleed out.
No.
So the only tough part was I could only get my guns like double packed, and I got lucky because I think somebody had a ray gun that they were able to drop or something like that
It was Kyle,
happened.
I think.
Yeah, I think
I
Kyle
did.
dropped it. So then I was able to double pack it. That was the only way we were able to kind of get it going. But I will say the Terminus boss fight was so fun. It reminded me of like when we were doing that buried Easter egg. When I think about some of the Easter eggs that we've done and the boss fights that we've done, a lot of them kind of go by the wayside. But that one, that Terminus one, was awesome. It was great. It was super fun because it was difficult. And like there was a time where we could have lost. Like I go down. I think I was the only one to go down. I go down in like the mid section of it, and I just got slapped. And I go down. I'm like, oh shit! And you feel that fear kind of come back to you of like some very early. Like it reminded me of those early zombies days where there's a chance like this could all go wrong. And so I go down, we're able to get back, we're able to stabilize, everything ends up being okay. But that's what I love about zombies, and that's what I love about so far what they've done with Black Ops 6 is even though a lot has been handed to us on a silver platter in this game, it feels like, with a lot of the movement abilities, a lot of the fact that you can buy all the perks and all these different things that keep you alive, it still is difficult. Like those boss fights still can be difficult. I mean, you guys had to go through it one time before you figured out like, okay, this is what we can't do, this is what we have to do, all that kind of stuff. But it's also just cinematically, it looks great. Like they have a cutscene in between. This one specifically had 2 cutscenes. It had the first one before you do the first little boss
The
fight,
Nathan
and then it
fight.
had the second one. So it's like they're adding things to it. And however you feel about the Easter eggs overall, at the very least, we're getting effort, which for a long time in zombies, we were not getting. Like a lot of these different zombies games, we were just, even if you want to even go back to Black Ops 4, which I think has gotten a little bit overhated as time has gone on. At the very least, like Black Ops 4, there's a reason to hate with some of the cutscenes they were putting out. Like some of them were not up to snuff, especially later on in the game's lifetime, where it was literally just still frames and it was just still pictures, and that was basically it. And there was just, the characters voicing things in the background. So I don't know. At the very least, we get that. I feel good about this moving forward. And that Terminus one was great. if there's nothing else to go off on Terminus,
Hold on, I have some things.
Yeah.
Question: out of the boss fights we've all done, would you all agree with me? I think that was the best boss fight in Zombies that I've done.
For sure. I think
I'm
it was
trying to think.
multi-layered. Like
There's the
there's only one other one
Dryzen Drac
There's only other one
I
other
think
that I
the
failed.
Gorod one.
Gorod's
was-
pretty fun.
Gorod was up there.
Shadows
But
I was
Gorod-
gonna say Revelations.
The reason my Gorod didn't seem like as fun to me is it felt pretty easy once I understood like the parts I had to shoot. Once I realized what I had to shoot, I had the ray gun Mark III, and I
Yeah.
just destroyed it so fast. Where it's like we failed this one, but it's like it felt like there was a lot to do. Like maybe if you have those guns, Jay's saying like it feels that easy, but it felt like there was a lot to do.
I do like the 3 phases thing though, like where it like goes down, like it shows up first, you shoot it for a little bit, and it's like
The
you
reason
gotta shoot the shoulders and shit, and then it goes down, comes back up. Now you gotta shoot the tentacles, then it goes down, comes back up, and now it's like you gotta avoid the slam and you gotta shoot it in the mouth. And like I like that there's like multiple phases and it changes throughout the different phases. I think that is like what makes a boss fight kind of fun for me is when there's like, okay, we've made it this far, like we've only got another 2 phases to go, like, and then it's like we got to prepare. This is the 3rd phase. This is going to be the crazy one. Let's get after it. Like I like that part. Like that part is fun for me.
that's what I mean by a lot to do. That's why I like that.
Yeah, I'd put Terminus definitely top 2. The only one I could think maybe, and maybe it's just our specific run, was the Revelations one. I don't know why. I felt like that Revelations one took some
I think
firepower
that's
to get
the
past.
run though, because like honestly, it was just the shadows like boss fight. The only
Remember
thing that
there was
different is,
something like we were about
we
to
just-
run out of ammo or at some
we were doing
point?
the orb part wrong. We just did like we
Yeah.
like the way that I had read the guide and like the way that it said run to the altar, get the orb, and then after you have to use the orb like to kill zombies around it, break the shield and everything like that. But it also says you have to grab the orb to start the boss fight. And so when I'm thinking altar, I'm thinking like a church altar at the front where like the guy. So I ran up to the front and I pressed square on it, and then the boss fight started. Or I pressed my interact and like the boss fight started. And then like. So I thought we were fighting for a while, thinking the orb was charging, but it wasn't. There was like a different thing up
That's
on like
fair.
the top. That's what happened there. Like, and then also too, the boss fight was like, well, the first time we also failed it because Jay was dumping thunder gun shots into it when like you had to be shooting it with a bullet gun, like it couldn't be thunder gun, right? Like, do you
The
remember that?
Revelations one
Yeah.
was fun. Now that
Like,
that one was
but I
great.
think that was our run because like if you remember Shadows, when we did Shadows, we finished Shadows really easy because I had a death machine. I think if I have a death machine in that Revelations fight, it doesn't seem as fun anymore because we just kill the boss really fast.
we destroy that shit. Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Although here's the thing, because that's the reason I say I think Terminus is the best is a lot of the BO3 ones. I agree. When you know how to do them, feel easy. Once you know how to do shadows, it feels easy because even without the death machine, I did it solo. You can't complete the full Easter egg because you can't do the last step solo. But I did the boss fight solo. It was so easy with a ray gun. Just pop, 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 done. You know what I mean? Dryzen Drac. I mean, it sucks because you guys still
I
took
still
to
have
beat
not
it.
done that shit.
But in the attempt that we did with Chris and Connor, and it was me, Wyatt, Chris, Connor, that one, and then the time that I beat it solo, really easy. You just kind of keep running around, killing panzers until like slam it underneath him, spam him, you know. And it was just all like kind of routine, right? Even like the what's the other map that Kyle hates, the spider map. Now I'm blanking on the name.
Zetsubo.
Oh, Zetsubo. Yeah, Zetsubo. Like I
Zetsubo's the
did
most
nothing in
basic one,
Zetsubo,
bro. Because all you
Yeah.
have to do is just survive until his like trunk comes out, and then the guy with the wonder weapon just hits it, and then boom, you do that 4 times, and that's what it felt like. A lot of the old boss fights felt like. Now, granted, we haven't done any of the Cold War ones, we haven't done any of the Black Ops 4 ones, and we haven't done any of the like Vanguard or some of those other games because I know those all have boss fights. But at least from like the ones that we have done back in the day, specifically BO3, I think it's probably the best. But I like the Revelation shout, Wyatt, because Rev felt like the only one that there was like sort of multiple phases to it that didn't feel like the Dryzen Drac phases where it's just like, okay, now more Panzers spawn and we just wait a little bit longer for him to spawn and put the thing again. You know what I mean?
There was also 2
Yeah.
times you have to go to that room. Like there was the one time you go to the boss room and you have to like fight the zombies in the lights. Then you like do like 2 other steps of the Easter egg. Then you go back to that room
Well,
If
I'm
you
also
guys
thinking,
remember.
remember there
So,
was
like,
that
yeah.
step where like you had to go up and like decode the thing while we're
Yeah.
all defending you, you know?
Yeah,
like-
I think isn't that the first time we go to the room, or is that the second time?
Yes,
I can't
that's the
remember which
first
one.
time.
Yeah,
we
but that's
like-
what I'm saying. Like, it makes it like because you go to that room
Yeah.
multiple times, it does make it feel like it's all kind of connected,
There
which I'm
was-
cool with.
Yeah, there was more like steps, which kind of happens in Terminus, where it's like, okay, like this first time we got to hit his shoulders, and he's just gonna slam, and you got to like get away from the slam. You can go all the way around. Then he's gonna go down, and he's gonna kind of go to the sides, and then he's gonna do the tentacles where he shoots gas at you. Then he's gonna come back up and do where you got to shoot him in the mouth. And that one he starts slamming and dragging, and so it felt like a more traditional game boss fight, where like he's getting better and we have to adjust. And then the final one is where he slams and closes off half the arena. And he like has the glowing blue shit and all that. So
That did make me
Yeah.
think. Number 2, only to the spider boss on Zetsubo.
freaking spider boss. That boss is so dumb.
It's so stupid.
I do
So-
like when maps have like mini bosses like that. Like I liked how
Yeah.
the Nathan boss fight happened. Which, by the way, John, but do you remember how long it took us to beat the Nathan boss fight the first time?
Yeah.
The second time with these pistols, bro, I shit you not, we beat it in probably like a minute.
We
It
rolled
sounds
that
like
thing.
you guys don't complete this Easter egg. If we didn't have that first run where like we do the trial run, you guys get to
We
learn
definitely
what
learned.
happens
We
Oh,
absolutely
by
yeah,
like
we definitely
by
learned.
like my failure.
Well, here's the thing too. We came in and I was like, "All right, boys," and we used juice gobblegums.
Yeah.
So me and Kyle used Perkaholic, and we used the ones that like insta rarity our guns to legendary.
Oh, okay.
We all came in with Phoenix ups for the boss fight in case we did go down. None of us had to use it. For the boss fight, we all made sure we each had a chopper gunner. We each had a self revive.
Yeah.
We all made sure we had at least one triple packed gun, except for maybe
Except for me.
Wyatt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the glitch where he died. But if he doesn't die, we all have a triple pack gun. Like we came in juiced. We had multiple ray guns. We had the beam smasher. We had like everything. So we were, yeah. This one we learned from the first one.
Because I will say I enjoyed the Easter egg again for that thing that it like even though we used a guide, it felt like there was some discovery. Like the part that me and Connor had to do, like driving around in the boat with like the buoys in the water. Like
Yeah.
we had to like learn how to properly kite that. Like I had to drive around kiting the Kraken while he's doing it, and I have to pick him up even though it's like really
which
quick.
we learned from you guys doing
Yeah.
that. So me and
Yeah.
Kyle did it this time, and
Well,
I
we
just told
did it.
Kyle, I'm just gonna jump out because that's what they did, and you're just gonna take him away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah,
we did.
and then after like we had to figure out where the bombs were, and like it was like even though it's a very simple step, like but like it was kind of fun to like dive in there and like I was like, oh, the bombs are here, like someone fucking defuse or something, like like that shit was fun. It was fun. It was
Sometimes,
fun to, like, have some discovery.
hey, sometimes it's fun to be the guy just walking the zombies around because I'm listening to Kyle and Jayhawk go through, and they're trying to do that step, and I just hear, I hear Jay just be like, "It's right here, Kyle. It's right here." Kyle's like, "I'm fucking trying." Like, he's like, trying to drive
Well, because when we're doing the diffusing, there's a minute left, and I'm like, Kyle, you gotta come pick me up. I just finished diffusing, and he's like, yeah, but the thing's chasing me. I gotta go do a loop around this rock, and then he picks me up. We go to the final third one, and I try to jump out, but like when you first jump out, you disconnect from the boat, but you're still standing on it, and he's going full speed away from the buoy, so I have to like jump off, and he's like, get out of the boat, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Kyle.
That's why it's fun sometimes to just move the zombies around. If you look at the stream, it's me. I'm knelt down walking a zombie, and I'm just staring at him, and we're just walking. We're basically just talking about our lives together, like me and the zombie. And then in the background is Jay and Kyle just screaming at each other. And I'm
does
sitting
make
there,
me
and I'm just
wish-
like, I'm so glad it's not me right now.
It does make me wish that I was recording because seeing Wyatt's perspective of that and then seeing my perspective of like I'm sitting in this open water next to a buoy and I'm like, Kyle, come pick me up. And there's just this like smoke monster chasing him around. There's a timer. We're freaking out. Like
He's like, there's only a minute left, Kyle. I'm like, I'm fucking going.
I'm
That
sitting
was
there dapping up
hilarious.
the zombie.
Also, because I had to sit in the boat, so I was just sitting in the boat as all this shit happens. So you at least had some responsibility. My responsibility was just fucking sitting there doing nothing, just watching them fuck around.
It's great. It's great.
It's funny because like with that step, like we're about to start that step, and Jay goes, wait, before we start this, the guide says once we do this, if we don't do it exactly right, everything blows up and it's done. Like, we have to make sure to do this right. And me and Connor are learning the boat. And we're like, okay, well, let's get out of the boat and make sure we know how to do this right. So what do we do here? And like, we did like a test drive to see where the buoys were. And I'm like, it's saying that we should hop out of the boat while you do it. And then Connor's like, no, don't do that. Like, there's this back and forth of like how we do it. And then so like, the first time we start the step, I drive Connor up to the buoy and he's like starts doing it. I'm like, you gotta jump out, man. I'm like, this Kraken is right here and it's gonna kill you if you do not jump out. And then Connor's like a really chill guy. Like he's
Connor's
not a guy
very
that really gets
relaxed.
like, yeah. And like I start like driving around and like he even gets like a little bit like, jump out, you gotta come back. I'm like, do you not see this fucking thing behind me right now? I have to do at least a little bit of a loop to come pick you back up here.
Well,
It's
think
great.
about it too.
Yeah. I'm
like,
also a terrible
Vietnam
driver.
Flashbacks to like the bomb step on Garage Crovey,
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like, if we messed up,
Exactly.
this run is over. So
Exactly.
you guys, we need to do a test drive around the buoys. When Kyle and I did it, we were like, I think we remember where the buoys are. When we did the first two, we had 30 seconds left. Had no clue where the last one.
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
one of
Kyle
them
was like, where do we go?
He was like, just
And I was
keep
like, just go
driving.
that
I'm
way.
just fucking
Just go,
going.
Kyle.
Yeah, we did. We mapped out the loop, but then the thing is like I'm also a terrible driver. Like, you know, as someone who I don't got my boater's license and shit like that. I don't know, man. But like
Just like SpongeBob, bro.
fucking
that's right.
So bro, I know Connor was probably getting a little frustrated too because I just kept crashing into shit like
It's
on
just
the
the way
way
it
with
goes.
the ticker going down.
No, it was great. That's the best. What were you saying, Kyle?
The best part is like I'm driving full speed. I got this gas monster behind me. Jason, the one who's like, come pick me up. I'm driving full speed. I was like, you better be spamming square, motherfucker. I'm like
Yeah, he
fucking
literally-
beaming by.
He basically rams into me, and as he's driving towards me, he goes, "You better be spamming square!" And I was like, "Okay," so I'm spamming to hop in.
He actually jumps out by spamming it too much.
Oh, dude, I was so fucking panicked. This thing's like on my ass. I'm just like,
I gotta
let's
watch
go
that.
right now. Fuck.
And I think
Yeah.
Kyle and I felt extra pressure too because we've already failed this thing. Like we
Oh,
can't
yeah.
fail again, you know.
No,
and
we didn't
I'm
wanna
just
fail
sitting there.
twice.
I'm just chopping it up with a zombie, just walking around in a circle, just feeling great.
Oh shit, that thing's
Okay,
moving.
drive. I'm hacking it.
Still have those zombies.
Yep.
Okay, it's done. Come get me.
All right, I'm gonna kill
Wait,
these
hold
fucking
on. This
little
thing's in my ass.
parasites.
I know. You got to come back around and get me.
I'm trying to circle.
We only have 1 minute, Kyle.
I'm working. You gotta hold square.
I'm in. Just
Okay,
keep
where are
going.
we going? Where's the next
I don't know.
one?
Just keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
I'm
going.
having.
There
Right
it
to
is.
the
There
right,
it
to the
is.
right, to the right, to the right.
You gotta
Why are
hop
there
out.
so many fucking parasites?
Hop out.
Yeah, I'm trying, but you're just.
Wow.
I was just like, you know what? Sometimes it's nice not to be involved in like the main steps. Sometimes it's great.
I do
But that
think,
was
though,
Liberty
if we
Balls.
run it back, you need to be in there because
Yeah. Put me in the front seat.
because we talked about this before on our last episode. I do think doing the Easter egg, specifically this map, did give me a newfound appreciation for the map. Like I already thought it was a
Yeah.
really good map, but like doing the Easter egg, it does. You know, they make you utilize the whole map. You got to use the boat. You got to go over to the ship here. You got to go. To
Yeah,
the
the
islands
secret room in
here.
the ship, like it's cool
Yeah.
to go see that
You got to
stuff.
do all this kind of stuff. You got to do like the mini boss fight here. You get to do the other big boss fight. Like it makes the map, I think, just more fun. So
It's so unfortunate for Terminus because Terminus is not a bad map whatsoever, but I think just because of the simplicity of Liberty Balls, it just feels like you're always wanting to play Liberty Balls. Like you never feel like you're in the mood to go deep on a Terminus run. You're always thinking like, I got 2 hours. Let me just play some Liberty Balls. Like that. Unfortunately, Terminus takes a
But
little
that's
bit of a
why-
hit for that reason.
That's why I'm excited to try and do this Dark Ops speedrun challenge because I think it's to cut it down to like under 30 minutes. We did it in I think like an hour 43. So
There's also
we'd
a
have
Dark
to go
Ops.
kind of crazy.
There's also one to do the boss fight on round 50.
Yeah, on round 50. I want to do that one.
That
too.
one-
So
That
like,
one's gonna be hard. That one's
Yeah.
gonna be
You get to
hard.
round 50 and then you start the boss fight and you're just like everybody's chasing you and shit. Your guns
It's gonna
don't
be a
do
fun
jack
time.
fuck.
It's
yeah.
a Dark Ops. That's
Exactly.
what makes this fun, and I'm hoping that they do more Dark Ops as these maps come out more and more, and I'm sure they will. I feel like there's no way they don't. Going over into Liberty Balls, not a whole lot to talk about here. Very simple Easter egg, very easy boss fight, pretty simple. I truly believe you could do the boss fight, all of you having knives. Like it's not very hard.
We literally suggested we should try that the moment we finished it.
Yeah, it's very easy, and like there's some story elements to it, and just like every Easter egg does. It just wasn't hard. It wasn't significant in any way. It reminded me a lot of like Ascension. I like when I was done, I was like, wow, okay. Like
I'm gonna say this
cool.
right now. I'm honestly with Terminus, where like the Easter egg made me have a newfound appreciation for the map. The Liberty Falls one made me more disappointed, quite frankly. Like the Easter egg sucks. Like all it really is some like random BS to summon a extra health mangler, then you summon an extra health abomination to do the boss fight, which is going into the church, getting locked in there to fight 3 waves, which is normal zombies and manglers with an extra health mangler, and then normal zombies and manglers with an extra health mangler, and 4 extra health abominations because we have 4 players. So it didn't really feel like a boss fight. You know what I mean? Like
it was such a letdown too, because that intro little cinematic
dude.
that
I
they
watched
have,
it today again.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, that one's so hard.
You watch the cinematic, you see Richtofen, you see the Wonder Waffle, you're thinking like there's got to be some sort of connection, and there's just nothing. Like
why they don't even put the
there's
Wonder
nothing
Waffle
there. They don't
There's
have
not
anything.
even a Wonder Waffle.
That would be such a cool like reward for the finishing the Easter egg.
Exactly.
If the Wonder Waffle doesn't make it back and it's not good,
it will.
I think it's
think
gonna have to. If they showed it, it's gonna have to make a return.
But
at
that's
some
the thing.
point.
They showed it in the intro cutscene of Liberty Falls, and I
it's the
thought that there'd be
collector's
some sort of
edition.
way to get it, and you don't get it.
You don't
and
get
here's what I want to say about Liberty Falls, because I think this was such a missed opportunity. First off, in the marketing, they kept saying it's a full-fledged main quest Easter egg. That is bullshit. I like that. That's not how you describe this at all, bro. This feels like there are mini Easter eggs on other maps that are more impactful than this one. This one sucks. I'm just gonna say that right now.
It sounded like one step on Gorod Grovey. Like you know when
It
you do the
basically
waves,
was.
it sounded
It
like it's just
basically
that one
was.
step.
It basically was. Very boring Easter, especially since the most time consuming step at the beginning is Kyle building the jet gun. Like that's anyway. So I think that Easter egg sucks. But here's what I want to say. Completely missed opportunity. I was thinking about this today. Based on that intro cutscene, I kind of came into the game with the expectation that Liberty Falls, the map and the storyline and the like Easter egg was going to be related to like the initial zombie outbreak happening in that moment. So I somewhat thought like maybe the boss fight, remember I suggested this when we first talked about Liberty Falls, maybe there's some secret room we don't know about. I thought the boss fight was going to take place in some sort of other room against an actual boss, and maybe like a CPU Richtofen joins you with the Wonder Waff and you fight the boss with that. Or like one of you gets to be him with the Wonder Waff or some shit like that. That's what I thought was going to happen. None of that does. You don't fight like an actual boss. I don't even really understand the story implications, because that one scientist is trying to stop the outbreak and he like swaps you into the like ghost thing that you like are, and he becomes a real person again. I don't even know how that connects to like Richtofen at all. I don't know. It seemed like there was a missed opportunity, because imagine like close your eyes with me for a second. Imagine we open Liberty Falls, and instead of the opening we have, there's like CPUs, like the campaign of people running out of this city, trying to drive away. Zombies are killing people left and right, which we already do see in the game on Terminus. It does happen. There's like the zombies killing the soldiers, but imagine there's like hordes of people trying to escape, and you're the team coming in to try and like react immediately, and you have no clue what's going on. It's like chaotic. We talk about how the atmosphere just feels kind of lackluster. Imagine like off rip, it's just like shit has hit the fan. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be way more cool?
way better.
I don't think so.
Especially, it was like, fuck no.
Yeah, no.
It just makes no sense that in this entire cutscene you have Richtofen running out with a Wonder Waffle. He goes into the elevator, and then I thought, like, my initial thought was, because when he goes in the elevator with the Wonder Waffle, like basically the ammo for the Wonder Waffle, the clip, it goes through, it breaks all the glass. I'm thinking like you're building the ammo to use this Wonder Waffle to do whatever you need to do to finish whatever needs to be finished on Liberty Falls. That's what my initial thought was. the fact that neither of those things are even in this at all, like Richtofen, his name is mentioned, but he's not there. And then you have the Wonder Waffle not being involved whatsoever. It just felt like a giant letdown. It was also just very simple. Like the steps were super easy. Wasn't a whole lot of like back and forth with the zombies. Like Jay said, it's basically just a bigger zombie. You just shoot it and that's it. And I guess you could really get all of the Easter eggs down to that if you really wanted to, but at least Terminus, there's some nuance to it. Like there's a lot of different things that can happen. With Liberty Balls, there was not. I still love Liberty Balls, but I just feel like it was a giant misstep. How the fuck do we not use the bowling alley in one of the steps? I know the bowling alley has its own Easter egg. The bowling alley should have been involved in one of these mainline Easter egg steps. I don't know how it wasn't. It's a fucking bowling alley.
It's in to get the.
It's in for the jet gun part, but
there's like the bowling part. Like, how are we not bowling to do something in this step? I don't understand. Like the whole thing is like we're just turning a knob inside the bowling alley. That's what we're doing. We're turning a knob. Come on,
and
like that shit
that's where I
frustrates
feel
me.
like they kind of failed. Where that's what I'm talking about. Like I thought the initial story was the outbreak literally just started. We are responding, and I feel like it would have been cooler if the Easter egg is like you have to go rescue certain people along the way to help build the Wonder Waff, so like Richtofen can use it to help you fight off like some boss that's not just an abomination or mangler with extra health, like an actual boss.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense why the Thrustodine is on the map of all guns.
Yeah, like
it feels like
goes hard though.
It does go
hard. It
It
goes
does.
so hard.
Yes. I will say though, the other thing, I had just watched that video again, like the beginning video. I watched it today. And at the very end, there's like the big robot, which is called Sam, and it shows her, and it's like Richtofen says like, "Sam, you will never be free," and then he gets teleported out of the elevator, and then it's like it shows her like break out and be free, and I was like, that would be kind of cool if we fought a fucking giant robot. That'd be fucking sick. Like, why don't we do that? And I was like, because it already shows her like break free out of all the chains that she's in, and she just like flies up, and I'm like, man, like, and it says on the beginning scene, it says they're at that place, and I was like, so we go down like a giant elevator, go to this spot, or even we get teleported to the place. Who fucking cares how we get there? But we fight the giant robot. Like that would be way cooler. I was like, that'd be so much.
I think there's just so many ways they could have done it better. I just wish that the cutscene felt more integrated with the Easter egg itself, because it almost felt like a completely unrelated story, even though I'm sure some lore person in the comments had ticked on, well, actually.
Well, technically.
So, I don't know. It just felt like a missed opportunity. It really felt like there was a lot more that could have been done in that one. And I know it's like a side map, it's a side thing, but the way they were hyping it up to be a like main storyline, full-fledged Easter egg, it did not live up to that at all. Like, you could have done this same kind of thing on Nuketown back in Black Ops 2, where it's like, yeah, we dropped like a boss zombie with extra health and you kill him, but you got to summon him by clicking this button over here. And like you do that like 3 times, and that's the Easter egg. Like, that's basically what it was.
After completing it?
You get everything.
It's the same thing you get with Terminus, where they give you like a ton of juice stuff. You can
you get so
auto
much
upgrade.
If you remember.
You can upgrade any of your guns to legendary. They give you a perkaholic. They drop a ton of like legendary rarity guns.
Dark ether crystals.
They give you a bunch of stuff that you can use to like play the game and like be juiced, basically.
Yeah. But
if you mean rewards out of game, you can see them in the menu when you select the mode. You get like a ray gun skin for Liberty Falls.
Yeah,
and
that
you get
I saw.
A Maya skin for Terminus.
I do love that. I do love that feature.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that, because that, I think, is going to get more people involved with playing the Easter eggs. And I think once people start playing Easter eggs in this game, if they've never played zombies before, I think they're going to go back and play some other ones. I really think that people are going to want to go back and learn how zombies came to be. And I think they're going to really enjoy it with some of these other Easter eggs that we've had, especially Black Ops 3 when they get there, if they're able to get there. But directed mode has done that. And we talked about that a little bit before it came out, how we thought it might help out overall. I think it's actually done a really good job of getting people involved. So, yeah, I mean, all that aside, I think Liberty Falls, I still love the map. I still think it's great. But when you talk about Easter eggs that mean something, and Easter eggs that you are, putting in a list of like your favorite, all those great Easter eggs all have like a moment that you remember, like a step that you're very keen on remembering. Like for us, the buried one we'll always remember as boys because that was that last step. That last step took us forever. That target practice step and the wisp step too. That one as well. You think about, Shadows of Evil. We had that final step where we had no clue going into it what was about to happen, and then we just kind of figured it out as we went along the way, and then had Brian help us out at the end there. You have all these different Easter eggs that have that key step. And I guess the key step for Liberty Balls is going to be creating the Thrustodine. like
So,
that's basically it,
I have 2 questions here. First one's for all 4 of you. So like Jay mentioned about wanting to do the speed run, like trying to complete it as fast as possible to get the Dark Ops challenge.
You have to do it in under 30 minutes.
Under 30 minutes for Liberty Falls. Terminus doesn't seem to have one. Terminus is just completed after round 50. But I just want to talk about Liberty Falls. You guys talked about it so easy, everything like that. I feel like I know what the longest part of the step might be, even not seeing it. But do you guys think after doing it, you could complete it in 30 minutes? Do you think it'd be really easy to
100%.
complete that?
Oh yeah,
100%.
You just gotta build.
how
all
easy?
you do is build the jet gun, build the LTG, go take the LTG to summon a boss zombie, then take the LTG to summon another boss zombie, then do the boss fight. That's it.
I don't even know what the LTG is. I feel like the longest step might be literally getting that groundskeeper to spawn.
No, he spawns
he spawns
instantly.
quick.
Just walk over to the graveyard and he'll spawn.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So then, if that's quick, then I feel not knowing anything about it, the way you guys talk about it sounds.
I think we could easily do it in 30 minutes. The only reason that our completion time is an hour and a half is because we didn't decide to do it until 15 rounds in.
We did it so late. It might have been even later than that. It might have been round 20 because I remember I had a double packed knife, and then Jay was like, "You guys want to just do the Easter egg?" And I was like, "Yeah, we might as well." I mean, we already did the most major steps, so. It's the one unfortunate thing for Liberty Balls for me, and I love that I still call it Liberty Balls because I do love the map. I really do love that map.
That
I just wish
leads
the
into
Easter
my
egg was a little
second
bit
question. Just for Wyatt, you have said you love this map about 50 times already on this pod. After dumping on it in a ton, I know how extreme. I know how extreme you are with your map rankings, and I know that because I've heard about this before. Where are you placing this on your map rankings list?
Let me put it up here right now.
While he's pulling his list up, the reason I got mad is because I do somewhat believe that there are certain aspects of the game that are completely unrelated to the map, but he likes those things and is associating it with the map. For example, Dark Ops. For example, camo grinds. He talked about he likes those. I've done a camo grind. I got Dark Matter on Black Ops 3. I want you to know, the moment that you complete those things, you will not think of the map the same way you do now, because you don't have those things bringing you back to play anymore. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah, so I just pulled up my map ranking on my computer. It was an old one. Let me find the one on my phone.
You need to watch the podcast. It's 2 episodes ago. We ranked every COD Zombies map in there. You can just hear the terrible takes from Wyatt in his list. I think it's the worst list on there. I really do.
The worst list.
Oh, it definitely is. You can get.
That's why I need to know your updated ranking with Liberty Falls.
So
I want you to know he said he was going to put a top 10 when he talked.
He's so ride or die. You have something. You're like, I love this, and then
I thought about it.
So so not top 10. So maybe I have to give you some credit.
Jay was mad because I put it above Zetsubo. Jay didn't like that I put it above Zetsubo.
It's way better than Zetsubo.
You're a Zetsubo hater.
I still stand by the fact that y'all don't give Zetsubo the
Okay,
respect
so
it deserves.
currently, I found the map ranking. I currently have it at 17. I have it above Zetsubo. I have it below Firebase Z. That's where I have it sitting right now. Mind you,
I don't even
we
know.
haven't played Black Ops 4 a ton, so we still
didn't have Firebase Z.
Yeah, we didn't have Firebase in our original rankings. No.
Okay. I have it on this ranking on my computer, but I do have it below. So the maps below it right now, currently, I have Zetsubo, Kino, Revelations, Nuketown, Die Rise, and Transit. The maps directly above it, I have Firebase Z, Shangri-La, Shinonuma, Verruct, and then some of those.
Think about just the map outside of the game. Like take all the camo grinding, all that stuff out of it. I feel like it's... Because the reason I use the map is to do all those challenges. If you take all that stuff out, you can't tell me it's much more involved than Kino. I know I'm a Kino lover. I know I'm a Kino lover. But I'm just saying, it's just as bland.
Yeah,
no.
I have Kino below it. I have Kino below it. by 2.
Which I'm not saying to put Kino up further, but I'm just saying it's like, which I guess like, yeah, it's close by, but like once you take out like all the aspects of the game, it's a pretty bland map.
So
Yeah.
I will give Jay the credit of saying, because I don't even really grind camos except for the knife. That like I just love using.
No,
the
but you
knife
like
on
the
that
Dark
map.
Ops challenges. You love
do
the
like the
Dark
Dark
Ops.
Ops
That's what I'm saying.
challenges.
When you complete
So
all of
take
those,
that
will you
out.
go back and play Liberty Falls as much as you do? I don't think that answer is going to be yes.
The one thing I'll give it though is like, you know, I'm getting older now. I've got some babies, and when I know I have 2 hours, I'm like, this is going to be a
But
good
once-
2-hour map.
I'm
you
just going
know?
to say this right now to the public. When Wyatt has completed the things that he has completed, we have more maps that have released from this game.
It
I
could
want
go
you
lower.
all to remember this moment, that when the Dark Ops and the camos and all the reasons that people go play Liberty Falls, when all of those things are gone and we don't care anymore, you will not have the same opinion.
could
And I say that,
see-
hold on. The reason I say that is because when I did Dark Matter grind at Black Ops 3, there was a point where I thought it was the greatest COD ever. And then when I finished Dark Matter, I never played multiplayer again. And I now realize that I only loved it as much as I did because I was always working and progressing towards something. And I'm one of those kind of people that I like to work towards something. I like to have that goal
Yeah.
where I'm trying to move towards something. Once it's gone, and I'm just comparing, because that's when I think about old zombies, I didn't have all that shit.
Yeah.
We were playing it because the maps were fun and the game was fun. That was it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
finished the Easter eggs. I still went back and played those maps all the time with friends. I still to this day go back and play those maps with friends. So once all that other extra stuff is gone and I compare it to just the way that I played those old maps, I think it's a lot lower. Now that said, I don't mind your current placement. The reason I got mad was because originally you were considering placing
Yeah.
it top 10.
Well, I'm
and I
very
was like,
hyperbolic,
That's
you know?
crazy. That is crazy.
When I speak, I'm very hyperbolic, and especially when I'm new to something, I love it immediately, and I fall in love with everything. Here's what I'll
and
say.
Remember, I called you after that. I said, this is the buried effect.
Yeah.
You're never going to play Terminus.
I do
and
still
just
have
like
buried
you
number
never
one.
played Mob and you never played Origins, and you're just going to love that map by itself. Play more Terminus.
Yeah, so I still do have Barry number 1, to be fair, but I will say your argument is a good argument, but there are a few non-negotiables that there's no way it drops below. It's never going to drop below Transit, Die, Rise, Nuketown. I
Sure,
could
because
see
those maps are just
Whoa.
not fun to play.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I
not-
also
Liberty Falls is fun. Those are not.
Kino. I
Richie's
don't.
like-
Richie's like, hold on.
Wait.
I rise.
All terrible takes right there. That is bullshit. Die Rise is the best.
I don't
All
think
right.
Kino is ever gonna top it for me. I've
fine
always
with the
not
Kino.
really
That's fine
liked
too.
Kino.
As
But
the
here's the
Kino
thing.
lover
I
of this
could
group,
see-
it's fine. That's fine.
I could see Zetsubo jumping it, and I could see Revelation
That's what should
jumping
jump
it. Revelation though was just a bunch of maps put together. That's kind of where I
Bro,
knocked.
didn't you love the?
Revelations,
No,
but-
it was Jay who liked the Gardenia aspect of Zetsubo. You didn't like that?
I like Zetsubo. I think
Yeah.
y'all disrespect Zetsubo.
Okay.
I
Kyle
played
hates
I
Zetsubo
had
by
a
myself.
bad
Zetsubo.
experience. I don't even know where I put
Kyle
it on my
also was
list.
scared of spiders, so I'm not
Yeah,
going to hear this
true.
bullshit.
Hold on,
man.
time out. There's spiders
There's
in Liberty
spiders on
Falls.
Liberty
This
Yeah,
guy
Falls.
uses.
They have that
There's
Turned
also
off.
an
He uses
arachnophobia
acro-
mode.
Yeah,
okay?
everybody has that shit.
I don't even have that on. I play with the
Yeah.
spiders where they still got their legs. They
Yeah,
don't
but
look
those
little
look like
worms.
alien spiders.
Does he really hate
On
spiders? Some are
Zetsubo,
asking.
they're like actually spiders.
Yeah. No, I do think there is like that's a fair argument, and we'll see how as time goes on where it ends up landing. But right now I do have it at 17, and that's
I'm fine
you know,
with that
the-
placement because I agree with Jumma said. I think it's just as bland as Kino when you take out all the other stuff.
Yeah. The I guess the difference
'Cause-
though with Kino and Liberty Balls is there are mini Easter eggs on Liberty Balls that are interesting, like the bowling one. Like
Fair.
you
Sure,
mentioned
but
before.
that I
You also got
when
10
I-
years of development. in the
like
game.
it had the benefit of being way later. If you put Liberty Balls in BO1 as the first ever map, and you put Kino now, we would be saying Kino is better because it has probably a main quest Easter egg.
Yeah.
Because which even though Liberty
Fair.
Balls one was disappointing,
All fair-
it would
all
have
fair
all this
argument.
extra stuff. It would have camo grinds. It would have dark ops. All that stuff is not related to the map. That is related to Black Ops 6 as a game coming out now.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I do really enjoy this map. I have a fun time playing it. For me, it could be circumstance too. Like, you know, with Kino, I had a lot more time on my hands. So like you when you have more time and you're playing it a lot more, and at that time, like you said, there wasn't as many things you could do. You might view it a different way. As now, it's like I've got kids, and it's like Liberty Balls is perfect for me to just load.
I
up
think
the
you just
PC.
enjoy the game is the thing. And like,
Yeah,
like
if
you
you
could take
like
if you
Black
take
Yeah,
Ops
and that's
6.
fine.
like yeah,
Better
which
than
is
mid.
fun. But like you take any of those maps that like would be like considered side maps or basic, like Kino, Nuketown, like Jay said. Like you take the town or like like the Black Ops 2 like town or farm and all those things. You take any of those and put them in the context of today and like just add like the little like Black Ops 6 flares to it. You're gonna be like, oh, this is like a great map because I love to just take the time. I'm 28, I got kids, and I just jump in there for 2 hours to casually play.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying right now, I don't have it
Which
top
your
10.
ranking's fine. Your ranking's fine.
yeah.
If you said
Yeah,
if you
your
hit me
ranking
with
now
like
is fine.
fucking 7, I was like I was
No.
letting
You
it
know,
go. I was
If you would have
like,
hit me with 7, I would have been like, "Fuck
Guys,
you." There's no
I want
way.
you to know, reminder, his original placement was top 10, which
That's why I
meant
brought
he was
this
gonna
question.
bump Origins out of top 10.
That's so
Well,
like
or
exactly.
Liberty Ball. Or
That's
boring.
why
crazy.
I
Boring.
got offended.
That's
That's why I
That's
got
so
mad.
true. I forgot about that.
You
shit.
wanted
That's
to say
so
Liberty
true.
Balls was better than the
That's
GOAT?
fucking crazy.
The goat.
That's where
It's
I'm at.
fucking crazy.
That's like
where
saying
I'm
a
at.
modern day role player is better than Michael Jordan. No, he's not. Don't you dare say that garbage.
You just want to say, it's
Sure,
like,
he
it's
might
like,
be a better 3-point shooter, but come on. That's because he plays in the modern day.
It's like when you have a really there's this one player who's like a workhorse on your favorite football team. And like when I was a kid, I loved Eddie Royal, slot wide receiver for the Broncos, and I'd be like, dude, Eddie Royal. I mean, this guy is great. And then it's like when we got Wes Welker, you're like, oh wait, like there's better than this. But because it's so close to you, you just want to hold it in, and you're just like, I accept this as one of the greatest of all time, even though that's not the case. With Liberty Balls, it'll probably end up dropping lower as far as when all these new maps come out, and then we get like more in depth with Black Ops 4 and Cold War and stuff like that. Right now, though, I do enjoy Liberty Balls. I got it 17 though. I got it at 17. That's where it's
17
sticking
Currently,
for
I would
right
say
now.
respectable
It's fine.
placement.
So,
Okay, boys. I say for now, what we should do is we should hit a quick ad, and then we'll get into the brand new map, which I am not even going to try to pronounce, and talk about some of the things that we are excited about, some of the things that we need to be cautious about, and then we'll kind of discuss what we think is going to happen here. We also got to talk a little bit about Mr. Waffles fucking traveling to the place. So let's hit a quick ad, and then we'll get into the brand new map. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gents, one of the great things about Black Ops 6, and I don't think people who don't like Black Ops 6 could even say this, they're trying their ass off with this mode right now. They are giving us cutscenes. They are giving us the like the Black Ops 3, the little logos for each map. They're giving us everything that you could possibly want for this this version of Zombies. They're trying their ass off, and they're doing the best that they possibly can to make this map an experience and make this game an experience. And so, with that all being said, we have to at least give them credit here. The brand new map that is going to be coming out is coming out just literally a few weeks after the launch of Black Ops 6. It's not very long at all. We've got, I think it comes out on the 5th. We are sitting here recording on the 30th, and I think I don't know how the months go, but that's either 6 or 5 days that we've
Thursday.
got.
It'll be
Thursday.
5 days.
5 days that we've got for this brand new map to come out. This is how I'm going to say it. Citadelle de Mort. Am I wrong?
Citadelle de Moore.
Citadelle de Mort. Thank you.
Yeah.
Citadelle de Mort is coming out. It's going to be out on Thursday.
I think it's Citadelle.
Citadelle.
Okay, now
We've
we're
got-
getting this.
We've got a lot. That's
you
the
saying
Canadian.
Italian,
That's
not
the
even-
Canadian. Yeah.
not even French.
Not even French. But that's what's coming out here in just a few days. And I mean, they've done everything up to this point. They gave us the little logo for the map, which they were doing in Black Ops 3. A lot of players were wanting that back again. That's something small, but it's something that adds like a little bit of like, hey, we're trying here, right? They're trying. They have the picture out. They've tweeted out some little pictures of little areas here. They make the picture like black and white, or they really hype up the gain or lower the gain, whatever it may be. They're putting the pictures out there of Citadelle de Mort. So far, all we really know about the map is I believe that there's going to be a brand new perk, if not two. I saw like a tweet saying there might be two, but for sure there's one. And then we also know that there's going to be a continuation of the storyline. We got a video as well. Didn't show anything about the map at all, but it did show that there was a story element to this map moving forward. I'm going to kick it off with you here first, Jay. Your impressions so far of what we've seen from CITADELLE.
Well, while I'm talking, I'll put some of the pictures that have been put out up, because the first picture is the one that's like of the kind of the little town, which, by the way, for you guys in here, I did send the link in the Discord if you want to go look at the Wikipedia page, because there are 3 pictures they put out as teasers. So apparently you start in the town and you build your way up into the castle. Now, my initial worry was when I heard that was that a lot of the map would not feature the castle. Sort of like Liberty Falls is like working your way up to the church, and the church is kind of like small. I didn't think the castle would be small, but my worry was that there wouldn't be a lot of castle gameplay. But it does seem like you will be getting a lot of castle gameplay, because then the next 2 pictures was like the outside of the castle with like that cannon thing, which I assume might be some sort of trap or maybe like a fast travel or something like that, like the lion head cannon. And then we get a picture from like somewhere inside the castle. It looks like a sort of throne room or something. And those are the only pictures we really have, but I'm excited for it. I don't know really anything in terms of story and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they've done castles right in the past. Shout out to Dreisendrach. I do kind of hope they do steal something from Origins and Dreisendrach, which is 4 wonder weapons. A lot of people are speculating a wonder weapon sword that could be the possible wonder weapon, and maybe doing like 4 elemental ones. That's all speculation. That's not leaks. That's just what the fans are putting out on Twitter. I think that'd be kind of sick. It would fit with the castle theme, especially with the current like melee macchiato stuff, like buffing melee stuff, and that kind of being like a little more popular in BO6. I think that'd be really cool to kind of lean into it with a wonder weapon melee weapon, and then maybe give it some sort of like ranged charged attack or something like that. But yeah, I'm excited for the map. Honestly, I don't really know much outside of that in terms of like the story or really what we're expecting, but I'm excited because at least from the pictures that we've seen, it does look really cool. And in that one picture, that's like the throne room type of thing. You can see there's like the overgrown stuff and like the green lighting kind of emanating from like the right corner, and it makes me wonder like what's going on in there down kind of in the depths of the castle. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it looks sick, and I think, like I said, fucking castles are cool, man.
Castles are cool, dude.
Castles are cool,
Castle's
bro.
cool as fuck.
Hey, hands up if
Also-
you think castles are cool, guys.
Hey,
Hey,
hand is up. Hand is up.
fucking
Also,
castles.
we didn't talk about this in the Terminus, which I don't know if Jump has seen this. Have you seen the cutscene when you complete the Easter egg?
I think so.
Okay, well, if you
Yeah.
haven't, we're about to spoil something.
It's fine. Go ahead.
If anyone, which I don't even know if you would care because I don't know if you've played any Black Ops 4. In Black Ops 4, Wyatt and I did go back and play Black Ops 4 a little bit. There's a thing called the Sentinel Artifact, which is basically in the Chaos storyline, which is there was the Ether storyline, which is the characters we know and love. The Chaos storyline was the other newer characters in Black Ops 4. That's the one that the storyline centers around when it comes to like you're on what was it, Dead of the Night, Wyatt, that we played, and like the
Night,
Sentinel Artifact is what turned all the people there into zombies. So it's this like kind of crazy powerful thing from Black Ops 4. It got teased in the Terminus ending cutscene as being here at CITADELLE. And so I don't know how they incorporate this Sentinel artifact from BO4 and also technically making the Black Ops 4 Chaos storyline canon into this. Do we get any sort of appearances or reference to those characters? Do we get anything in reference to BO4? Does the Sentinel artifact, like, that kind of interests me because, which why I don't know if you want to repeat your take, but we haven't fully gotten to dive into Black Ops 4, but I do think playing it now compared to like back then, it does feel a little overhated. And I think there's some interesting stuff there.
Yeah, so my entire thing with Black Ops 4 was I think in Black Ops 4, we had just come off of arguably one of the greatest zombies experiences of all time in Black Ops 3. And what they did was they kind of moved the needle a little bit with some of the movement tech. They also changed up the storyline with some of the characters that we have known for a long time. That can take a toll on some people when you try to switch immediately. And now that I'm going back and looking at some of these different things that we've had going on with Cold War, with Black Ops 6, you go back and you look at the settings on those maps. You look at the different special zombies they put on those maps. You look at all of the different things that happened in Black Ops 4, and you kind of get this picture of like, wait a second, maybe we were quick to judge this just because we came off of something so great. And not often does that greatness get repeated, and especially in the exact same way. They had to make some changes. They had to try something new. It's also a brand new game. We also always have to remember in any sort of zombies experience, they are always going to cater a little bit to whatever is in the rest of the game, which could be the multiplayer. At that time, there wasn't the BR effect, but wasn't Blackout not in Black Ops 4?
Blackout,
Blackout was.
They made it like 2 months before the game came out, so it means that like zombies probably took a wayside for a little bit of what
That's
they had to do.
that's what you're thinking about a little bit, right? So all of those things come together and they create this effect where it's like, wait a second, maybe we were a little bit too quick to judge Black Ops 4. Now, to be fair, this is many years removed from Black Ops 4, so we can't really say we judged it too quickly. But at the same time, it looks like they're trying to make some sort of ties to it. And one of the big arguments I've seen from a lot of the different people in the community and their disregard for Black Ops 4 was the fact that when the Chaos storyline finally got interesting, it was right at the end of Black Ops 4. And then at that point, you just didn't care about those characters anymore because it was already over. Now, if we're starting to get a call back to those, it could really make it to where that game gets brought back into this sphere and we're starting to go back. And I'm already a victim of it. I already want to go back and play some of these maps. Now, I did want to talk a little bit about Mr. Raffle Waffles here. First of all, before we get into anything that I'm going to read from his tweets, we have to say that he fucking flew there. Like, he went there. It's not the craziest thing. Like, he lives in Europe, obviously. So he went there and he visited the place. Actually, I don't even know if he lives in Europe, but
He
he's
went
got
to
an
the
accent.
castle.
Went to
that
the
it's
castle.
basically made after, I guess.
That
Basically.
is dedication.
It's dedication. He
Which
went there.
I
and
skimmed the video right now, and his door buys didn't cost any points. Totally fake news.
Totally fake. Totally fake. But one thing he did tweet out from this was, it's 5:17 a.m. and I have been reading about French history all night. And guys, what if the Sentinel artifact is the Holy Grail? What if that is why the particular citadel is so important? What if that is how Craft has managed to stay alive all these years? What if? Now, it's an interesting concept. Because if you start to think about what Zombies has done in the past with a lot of these different historical events, is they've been able to tie it into the story in some special way. If they were able to make the Sentinel artifact the fucking Holy Grail, do you know how many possibilities open up for the rest of the zombie storyline if that is the case? It's just something to throw out there. Now, Milo, he does have his whiteboard and he goes deep. He dives deep into some theories. And a lot of times they're not theories that the zombies team recreates, but this would be an interesting one, and I thought I'd bring it up because I did think that was super cool.
And I want to add on to that. The thing I'm somewhat excited about is the one thing I do love about Black Ops 4. Say what you want to know about Black Ops 4. The one thing I think they did right was with the Chaos storyline, we went to a lot of like mythical kind of far out there places with like crazy settings, right? Like 9 was a sick map, right? Like the one where we're, fighting Pegasus in the Lost City was sick, right? Like there's all these really cool places in the Chaos storyline that we got to go. And I wonder because it feels like with this one, they're kind of trying to go for a little more realistic kind of vibe. Does this maybe sort of push us a little more that direction back to where BO3, BO4 was, where it's a little kind of out there, mystical, crazy stuff happening, as opposed to like very like bogged down, like we're in a normal town. Okay, now we're in like a prison in the Pacific. Okay, now we're in like a French castle. Like, are we starting to go maybe some of the more mythical, crazy route? Because I love that part of Zombies.
Same.
And Black Ops 4 was the one who did it the best. You had some of the best settings. You had the Titanic, like you said. You had the Roman Empire, it had to be Roman. Then you had the Greek thing with Pegasus. Then you had, what was the Dead of the Night, which
like
it wasn't really
detective,
a
murder,
setting,
mystery type of thing.
but it included a lot of mythical things. Like you had the werewolves, you had the vampires.
Werewolves, vampires.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if they're starting to dip back into this with the type of game that Black Ops 6 is, I think that this could set us up very good in the future of the game. Jumba.
If there's no fucking manglers, I'm gonna riot. They better bring those guys back.
If they, I'm gonna say this right now, if they put manglers or abominations or amalgamations on Citadel de More, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah,
give
we're
us
gonna-
something new. We're in a freaking French castle. Like, give us something related.
Give us some
to
knights
that.
in armor, bro.
Give us
Honestly.
And,
Manglers.
and actually,
Anything.
hold on, I
Manglers
gotta
in
cover
armor.
bases. I gotta cover my bases. Do not bring back Panzers. Don't bring back Margwas. Don't bring back any of that old crap.
Manglers
Just
and
give
Panzer
me-
armor.
No, give me something new.
Give me something.
Abominations in Mangler armor.
Abominations that can shoot Mangler cannons.
No,
That was
give
the funny-
me something new.
That was the funniest part about that video that I posted on our TikTok was that everybody thought that Jay just thought that the Manglers were hard. And the whole point of the video was that Manglers are lazy, not hard. They're not difficult.
Yeah.
They're just lazy. It makes no sense for a Mangler, a Russian super soldier, to be at a gas station in West Virginia.
Yeah.
It makes
You
no
don't know that,
sense.
bro. You don't
And
know
makes
then
that.
all of
no
a sudden,
sense.
we go from a gas station in West Virginia to a prison cell in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Oh, wait, please don't put them in a French castle. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
And I love the fact that people got mad there when in Jay. By the way, in the full episode, Jay corrects himself. Like I said earlier, he corrects himself. But in that clip, they were just like, Manglers aren't even on this map. It's like, that's not the point. Manglers have been on so many maps since then. What does it matter?
That's
so
the
many
thing.
people
There's
on
so
that
many
comment
maps
section-
they've been on them, you can't keep track.
Yeah.
Technically, they're not boss
But
zombies.
guess
It's
what?
like,
Shut up. Everyone calls
Dogs.
them
They brought up dogs.
technically.
They brought up dogs too. The dogs have been on a lot of maps, which like the thing I guess with
Yes.
That was a
but-
fair argument, though.
But
I thought that
dogs
was
are
fair.
like inconsequential. It is lazy. I do criticize bringing back dogs all the time. Oh, I haven't on this pod because we haven't really had a lot of time. But I've always been critical of like, oh, they brought back dogs again. It feels like, eh. But like dogs don't like really change the gameplay loop. It's like you shoot them once and they're dead. Manglers are like all like lazy and kind of annoying at the same time. They're not
it
hard.
just makes
I'm
no
not
sense.
saying they're hard.
Yeah.
I can knife them twice and they die with melee macchiato and a pack a punch knife, which we do a lot. But they're just
just-
lazy.
So
It
would you
just
say
makes
they're
no
hard?
sense.
No, not hard. They're easy.
Yeah, I think that. So I think this is a perfect point to transition into some of the things we have to be cautiously optimistic about. Like, obviously, we've shown a lot of optimism right now, but there is some caution that we have to be careful with when it comes to Citadel Day more as well. And I think one thing you have to remember when it comes to this map is it's great that it's coming out so quickly after the game has released. But what you do have to remember is because it's coming out so quickly, there is the opportunity for what we just mentioned, potential boss zombie, special zombies, my bad, returning to this map because maybe they did not think that that would be a problem, which I don't know how you don't. Like, it makes no sense, but maybe they didn't. So that's something to think about. Also, some of the changes, like remember Liberty Balls, before it came out, they did make changes right before the map dropped, but there wasn't a whole lot of time for them to make crazy changes, right? It wasn't like they made this huge sweeping change to absolutely rearrange what Liberty Balls was all about. They made some changes to where you could adjust your own HUD, and then they made it like the tone a little bit darker, which, by the way, it's still broad daylight. So they did make some.
Notice the tone change at all.
You don't really notice it, right? So it's like because it's so close to the release of the actual game, there's a lot of possibility for there's to be some things left over from the initial first two maps that maybe are not our favorite.
But
so
what if-
just keep that in mind.
What if it was already in development before they even decided, like, oh, hey, we're going to announce it? So what if it was already in
I
the
think it
works?
was.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it
yeah.
was probably in development before the game even came out. Because think about it. Like the game came out, what, 2 months ago? It's already coming out? Like that's a pretty quick turnaround.
No, it's really
That is.
fast. I thought
really fast.
I remember when they announced it, I was like, already?
And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
announced before the game came out that this map would be coming out in season 1. So they knew like we're gonna have it done by then, which means they probably already had a good amount of it done. So that does worry me that we're gonna get freaking Russian super soldiers in the middle of France.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind.
Which, by the way, I did see a meme on Twitter of it was like, I can't wait for the boss zombies on Citadel Day More. And it was, I think, what Jumbo said, which is manglers, but they're wearing like knight armor or something like that. But they're still just manglers.
I was
and
just
they
doing
still
that
talking
off,
Russian.
At this
What's it
point,
called?
I'm going to fucking Photoshop Jay's face onto a mangler and just
Yeah.
post it everywhere.
Jay is the mangler now. I've actually grown to respect how many times they've thrown it in there. It's actually funny to me now. Like it's just it's funny.
Because don't you ever think, like, I wonder if there's ever a meeting that's like, okay, guys, creative meeting right now. We have to do a quick creative call. So it's like, we got the zombies, obviously, Citadelle Mort. This is the whole theme of the map, French, like, castle. We need something that makes up the gameplay loop. We gotta sit down. We gotta really think, what can we do for like, the special zombie, not the boss zombie, but the special zombie. And then they're like, yeah. Yeah, if it was like that,
walk out of the meeting.
It'd be hilarious.
It's
If
lunchtime,
Mangler
boys.
got up, but it'd be even crazier if they sat there and they wrote like a bunch of things down on a whiteboard and they like really thought about it, and then they're just like, they're like, all right, Manglers it is, and then they just went with it. Like,
No, but here's
No,
what's really
there's
good.
some guy in the
What we want
back
for
of
lunch,
it.
boys?
He shows up. He's like, what if we did Manglers with French accents? And then they just walk out.
Okay. Here's
Sushi
the
for
part
lunch
that
or what?
worries me though. Here's the part that worries me though is they hear the complaints about the manglers, and here's what they're gonna go do. They're like, what if we channel another boss zombie that we did on another castle, and they just bring back Panzers for the 17th time too. I like Panzers on Origins. I think they were fine on Der Eisendrache. They were also on Cold War. They're all the games that the manglers were on. Panzers were on those plus Black Ops 2. So please don't bring back Panzers either. Just make something new, please. Make something.
Let's just make something new. Let's just make
something-
something new.
something French
now listen,
or medieval or something.
We at this podcast understand that with the zombies play style, there's only going to be so many ways that you can make a new special zombie. Like it all comes kind of down to the same exact loop. You shoot them in a certain spot, it does more damage. You shoot them a bunch in another spot, it doesn't do as much damage, but eventually you will kill them. That's usually how a special zombie goes. We get that. I guess the whole point is to just not do it so lazily to just throw a Russian super soldier at a gas station in Virginia. Like that's what we're asking for.
It makes me feel more in the space, Like we talked about Black Ops 4, you're in this dead of the night mansion in the woods, and there's the Nosferatus and the giant ass werewolves. Like those are cool. It makes me buy into like where we're at. Oh, we're fighting in this Colosseum type of thing, and we have these giant like gladiator type of zombies coming at us.
The tigers.
That's cool. The tigers instead of dogs. Like you can still do like kind of like a similar thing to what you've done before and just sort of reskin it as long as it fits the thing. The problem is if you do a mangler with a French accent, like we know it's a mangler, like make it feel different.
I cannot wait till like
I kind of want him to do it now.
I'm gonna let.
They got one of those stupid French hats on, and wee, and then they fucking
I was
walk
just gonna
up.
say, I can't wait till our first playthrough, round 13. Must destroy. Jay is gonna Jay's just gonna.
You know what I hope?
lose
You know
it.
what I hope is actually if they do manglers, it's still the Russians, but they make them try to do the Russian voice mimicking French. Like
Yeah.
they try to speak French and they
I'd
do like a
respect 'em for that.
terrible French accent that still sounds Russian. I'd be like, you know what? Baller.
Yeah,
What
I'd
about-
respect
Great
him for
move
that.
there.
But
I'd respect him for that.
at least do this, because this would be fucking perfect. Yeah, the French accent, fucking fire. Make it a fucking mime, a mime mangler, bro. He's wearing a white
black and
shirt.
You shoot the armor
The
off, and
stripes.
there's just a white stripes underneath.
yeah. I love it. I guess to round out the new map, because there's not too much we can talk about right now. We don't really know too much, and when the map comes out and we play, we'll be able to talk a lot more about it. But one thing that each of us wants from this new map, whether it
Manglers.
be new zombies, whatever it may be, I'm gonna start off. The one thing I want this to feel very similar to the structure of Verrucht, where it's very narrow quarters. I want this to be tight. I want this to feel a lot more difficult as far as just movement goes. That's what I'm hoping for. I've been ever since I saw this map drop, I'm like, I hope these corridors are very narrow. I hope there's like a few spots maybe where you can kind of replicate some sort of train that you can run, but I want this to be tight quarters. I want this to be a very tight quarters map.
I like that because that picture of the three there, the one where it's like it looks like they're like the, how would I say it? It's like the central square. It almost looks like, or something like that.
With the well?
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was
well.
like, that gives me Verrucht vibes.
Yeah.
Like, this was the first thing I thought when I saw that.
That's what I'm looking for. I want this to be tight. Like Liberty Falls, pretty wide open. Terminus, there's a fucking body of water that you can just swim in. But I want this one to be tight quarters. does anybody else have one that they're thinking of?
The only thing I really hope for is that the wonder weapon is fun to use and it's new. I just don't want them to reuse. Like, I don't want them to be like, here's the jet gun in the middle of France. I want them to be like, I want them to be like, they were really cooking something up here. I don't know what's going on. It's like some crazy ass gun they got. You know what I mean? Or, like Jay said, if it's a melee weapon, I hope that thing's just juiced. Like, I hope that'd just be the coolest thing, honestly. And they've never really done like a melee super weapon. The only one they've ever done was the one from Cold War, the fucking axe or whatever. But that's the only one that I've ever seen that's like a melee super weapon.
Rich, you had one?
Yeah, so I'm going to give an honorable mention. Make monkey bombs, turn them into just little French guys smoking cigarettes, and you just throw them out there.
Throw a baguette.
They don't clap their hands. They sit there and you just like
Just
They just insult you as you walk by.
They insult you in French. You're just like, oh, what does that even mean? You look it up. Oh, damn.
Since it's going to be in a castle, I would like to see like new innovative traps. Like, I think that would be really cool to see in a castle setting, just because it kind of gives you that medieval vibe. I think that would be kind of nice. I don't really use traps that much, but it'd be kind of nice to be able to be like, oh, damn, that was actually dope as fuck. I'm going to use that. So I would kind of like to see some innovative traps. I don't know.
Honorable mention, going off of Richie's, I just want to say, every castle has like a secret door or something. I feel like if this castle doesn't have a secret door somewhere, they fucked up.
There's no point. Yeah, there's no point. Just scrap it. Jay.
Scrap that.
I would really like them to kind of go back to some of the roots of zombies, which I feel like they capture with Terminus, but I want them to go a step further. And what I mean is, when it always felt like whatever setting we're in, there's some sort of darker thing happening than we know. And on Terminus, right, that happens. There's these like experiments with Nathan and with Patient 13, which is the Kraken. Like, there's like all this kind of crazy stuff that has been happening here in this prison that has led to like the amalgamations and these kind of freaks. I don't want this to just be a castle, which I know it's zombies, so I don't expect it to just be a castle. But like, when I first started looking up stuff for this, there was like a Reddit post I found of like someone explaining how the actual castle that Raffle Waffles went to, that it's like kind of based off of, has like ties to like Cthulhu and H.P. Lovecraft and like some of this kind of crazy stuff. And so like, I don't necessarily know if they're going that direction, but with the Sentinel artifact being introduced, some of the BO4 stuff, I want there to be some sort of like deeper, mysterious, whether it be cult or, mystical vibes, or because with Terminus, we got the like mysterious experiments happening, right? Now I want to keep doing what Zombies does, which is like, there's something crazy happening here, that we don't fully know yet. But as we play the map, it goes with the wonder weapons, it goes with the boss zombies, like all these kind of things all tie into it, where they kind of make you realize like what the map's truly about. And so, yeah, that's why I'm really worried of like, oh, they just had Panzers or like some basic ass wonder weapon, like Kyle said. Like, we don't want redone Panzers or the jet gun, because I feel like then it would completely suck us out of that and it'd just be a castle in France. I want there to be a castle in France, but there's some sort of like crazy shit going on related to the Dark Ether there too. So
yeah,
Jumba.
I was gonna say that's pretty cool, because I like that, just because that's what drew me into zombies. Is like when you would have I had to learn the story by like you hearing how people piece things together and theory crafted stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys had some really good ideas. After I heard everything you guys said, I can't even think of any.
Can I throw one at you?
Sure. What do you want? Your second one?
I mean, a castle has some sort of like, it's got to have some sort of dungeon, right? Like, I'm hoping that there's like a really good introduction to some sort of dungeon in some way, shape, or form.
Bro,
like
what about
I don't know why Kyle laughed at that. Yeah,
well, I mean, I understand why Kyle laughed. Why do you specifically want there to be a dungeon? Like,
I'm just being honest here. Like, castles have dungeons, right? Like, when we think about Mob of the Dead, it's a prison for the most part, but when you go down into the like the laundry room area, it's dark in there, bro.
But
like,
it is
a lot of blood.
It's not a castle.
Stuff. Okay,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dungeon on Der Eisendrache.
Yeah, I want us to have a dungeon. There was none on that one.
Bro, what about a moat?
Maybe
you gotta
a
have a
moat.
moat.
Well, I mean, like I said, you do start in the town and go to the castle, so maybe there will be actually a moat.
Maybe
I
there
don't
will
know.
be more.
Be a
Well,
boat.
in Kyle, which one was it where it was the map was like it had Burger Town on it, but it wasn't a Treyarch Zombies map?
Oh, it was.
That's a thing. Advanced Warfare.
I think it was
Advanced
Advanced Warfare.
Warfare.
Yeah.
So there was a sewer, there was an area in the sewers, and there was a trap where you could activate a gator that was in the sewers, and it would
It was a
eat the
giant
zombies.
gator.
It was a
and
giant
would
gator.
Fly out and fucking eat the zombies.
This
Yeah,
just sounds
and I
like a
thought that
secret
was
room,
sick.
like what Kyle said. This is not a dungeon anymore.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Well, he brought
Why
up
do you
the
want a
moat.
dungeon?
Yeah,
I want a
what do you
dungeon.
Why do you want a dungeon?
What do you mean? What? It's a castle.
What do you want to do in there?
What do you
Why-
It's
what
an
do you want to
ancient
do?
castle. I just
What
want
kind
there to
of
be a
dungeon?
I
dungeon.
feel like you have ulterior
what
motives.
is the
I
dungeon
don't.
Kind of
for?
dungeon.
There's just
Yeah, what kind of dungeon do you want?
get your mind out of the moat, okay? Listen, I'm just talking about a dungeon. There's castles have dungeons.
I don't know, man. Spoiler on what our draft is about.
I
to
want
be.
a dungeon,
I think you want to
too.
do some weird stuff in that.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
just
all I'm
wanted there to be like a
Wyatt
cool,
wants,
like
Wyatt
when
wants
we-
a place to take someone on to his first
no.
date.
Listen,
Wyatt wants to
listen.
get toothy
I
domed.
Wyatt's
fully-
gonna lure me into the dungeon. He's gonna be like, "Wow, this is pretty cool, huh?"
I
He's gonna
fully
lock you in
understand.
there and do dirty things.
Oh shit! This door only locks from the outside, huh?
I
look,
fully
this is the
understand
key.
a lot of the jokes I make would make fun of having a dungeon, but I'm just saying it's an ancient castle. Like when you think about Verrucht, there's that one room with all the writing
Back to
on the
another
wall
prison.
with like
You keep
all
going
the
back to
blood,
prisons that
and
don't
it's
have
just like all
dungeons.
over. I
You
want the
want it to be a
creepy factor.
prison?
I want there to be the creepiness factor there.
Okay, you want the creepy factor.
Yeah, I want it to be
that feels
creepy
different
again.
than a dungeon.
Well, I feel like a dungeon would be the perfect place to do it. It's a dungeon.
It could be, yeah, but I think if you led with that, maybe it would have had a different vibe than just I want a dungeon. Why? I don't know. I think dungeons are cool.
Well, dungeon. It's an ancient castle as a dungeon.
Okay,
You know?
anyway.
Bro, boss fight, it's gonna be the Gambit
The Gambit.
Yeah.
from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh my god!
From Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's
Just
Creole
Channing
dog.
Tatum?
It's French.
It's-
Fucking Channing Tatum.
they got
shows
Channing
up.
Tatum to voice the character. That'd be sick. Okay, boys. Anything else before we move on from Citadelle des Morts?
Well, here's a quick question I do have. Do we think there's going to be any sort of dragon involvement? It is a castle. Just saying.
Maybe not
No.
this one.
Not this one. Okay.
Funny enough,
I don't.
Was
I
there-
think they did dragons already. I think
But
they're gonna
dragons
be
were
leaning
Go
more
Rod.
towards.
the
Yeah.
Rising Rock had
were
the head.
Go-Rod.
It had the head, but dragons were mostly Go
Yeah.
Rod.
Yeah, but castles, dragons. I don't know. I do
I'm
wonder.
kind of hoping more for like knights and suits of armor and shit.
Maybe
That's
like
what I'm hoping for.
maybe you get like some sort of like jousting thing going on.
That'd be kind of sick.
A joust
But
yard.
if they had a
The boss
jousting
zombies
zombie that
are
just chases you,
The knights in the jousting gear with the giant stick on a
The-
horse.
one
and
of
they
the s-
became zombified.
Yeah, you have to joust for one of the steps of the Easter egg. Thoughts?
that'd be kind of sick.
That'd be kind of
If
crazy.
you win, you lose the game.
yeah.
Or sorry,
It's
if you
over.
lose, you lose the game. You lose
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
They're like, just don't miss.
Yeah.
He's just riding on the
Maybe
horse.
there's dragons in the dungeon. I'm just tossing things
Maybe.
out.
Or
All right.
manglers.
Maybe there's manglers in the dungeon.
Please.
Now my depraved part of my brain will open up if we're putting manglers in the dungeon because I hate manglers. Kind of love them now.
Are you gonna
but
hate fuck the mangler in the dungeon? Is that what you just said? Like,
I didn't say it.
I mean, you
I didn't say
basically
it.
did.
I did
mean,
not.
Jumbo, you said
Jumbo
it.
said it.
I mean,
I asked
you
the
I didn't say
question.
it.
I asked.
He
the
asked
question.
talking about
question.
hate fucking.
I just
am
answered
just
it by
very
saying
direct.
I'm not going to answer it.
I am just very direct, and I will say what everyone else is thinking.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
agree.
answered
Glad
Don't go
you
to
said
the if there's a dungeon on this map and Wyatt's down there, I'm not going down. there.
He's gonna be like, he's gonna show up on the map. He's gonna like pause for a second. And
You
he's gonna
guys
be
know
like,
I'm
Hey,
buying
guys.
Great.
our
That's a
first
great
playthrough.
Come
draft.
over here.
That's
Our
a
first
great-
playthrough, I'm buying every door.
We're gonna
That's a
have
I'm
great
looking for the
draft one
dungeon.
day. A great draft one day is what like room, like we could pick a map or like what map would you not want to spend time with Wyatt?
Yeah, that's a decent draft.
Wyatt's
Pick
gonna-
101, the dungeon on Citadelle des Morts.
Wyatt's gonna have to walk around a zombie for part of the Easter egg. Be like, all right, guys, I'm gonna take this zombie down to the dungeon.
Why? Can you hold the zombie? Yeah, I got
Oh,
the perfect
dude.
place.
Can you hold the zombie? Yeah, I'll see you
I
guys
got a great
later.
spot for him picked out.
Why?
Whatever's
We're
happening on
like-
your stream is
We've
gonna
been
be
on the next
disgusting.
like 2 steps. You can leave the dungeon. But no, I'm good. You guys got this.
No, I'm good. You guys are doing great.
You guys are good. You guys are good.
No, that's interesting because like, how do people in this universe turn into zombies? Because we get smacked by zombies while we're playing, so it's like it's not just by like them being scratched or something like that. Is it a bite? Like, how does it work? And can Wyatt fuck a zombie? Is like what I'm trying to ask here.
Yeah, there's two questions there, really.
Is there
In
some type
BO4
of
with the Sentinel artifact, they literally just did it, and the Prima Materia stuff could just turn people into zombies instantaneously.
Yeah.
So the person who
think this is
controlled
how
it
it works.
turned the whole thing into zombies.
So Wyatt can get some toothy dome by the zombie. in the
Yes.
or is that
dungeon.
gonna give him some like weird zombie STD kind of thing?
We never
Well,
know.
probably
Someone's got to find
Who
out.
knows?
Somebody's got to
first.
figure it out.
Someone's
got to
gotta
figure it
be.
out.
God,
Someone's gotta step up.
depraved things you could find in that dungeon. God.
The craziest thing is I just brought up the cool idea of like a dungeon room, and this is where it's turned. Like that's all I wanted.
blame you.
Blame Kyle for
Yeah,
laughing
Kyle for
immediately.
Yeah, Kyle laughed
Okay, well-
instantaneously. He
As
didn't
soon
wait
as you
a
say
second.
dungeon, I was just like,
And when he laughed, that's where my mind went. I was like, ah.
I just thought it'd be cool to have a dungeon in the map.
What kind
you
of
know?
dungeon do you
I just thought it'd
yeah,
be cool.
what kind of dungeon you looking for, dog?
I just thought it'd be cool. All right, well, ladies and gents, that should just about do it for the new map. We're going to hit a quick ad, and on the other side, we're going to get into a draft here. And as you guys know, our drafts are pretty tame and, very appropriate. So we're going to hit a quick ad, and we're going to get into our very appropriate and very tame draft. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gents, it's draft time. All the boys ready for a draft. We've got some categories. We'll explain them in just a second. But first, we got to crown the winner of last draft. The last draft was Bang, Marry, Kill Perk Machine Edition, and your boy took it. There's some conversation that a certain picture was the reason that I won it. I don't believe that. I think I just had a bang draft. I just thought I had a banger draft, but apparently people think that a particular image made me win.
If shout out to last episode, go listen to the draft if you haven't. The concept was Bang, Marry, Kill Perk Machines, and Wyatt decided to marry Vulturade.
Yep.
Because if you know anything about Wyatt, he's a smaller individual. He's a bit on the shorter side.
Small guy.
And he thought it would be hilarious because Vulturade is built like a linebacker and is a very big perk machine. He thought it'd be funny visually if he married Vulturade, okay? So that was the draft, right? That was his pick. When we first put out the voting, okay, I believe it was like me, Kyle, Richie, maybe Jumbo. I don't know. There's only a few votes out there. Wyatt had 0 votes, okay? And then he and I are talking in that Discord, which, by the way, shout out the Grab My Banner Discord if you'd like to join. There is just a Pack-a-Pod section, so if you don't care about Apex Legends at all, which is the main stuff of the Discord, you can only participate in the zombie-specific stuff.
Also, there's a lot of real-life stuff that happens in the GMB Discord. It's really just like a Discord for the fellas.
Yeah, so join it
the
if you would
bros.
like to, and you can cater it to your preferences. So if you just want it to be zombies, you can, or you can participate in the other stuff. Anyway, this is where we allow the voting to happen. And maybe we should put this in the YouTube comments as well. But I put a picture that I'll show on screen now of the visualization of Wyatt marrying the Vulturade machine. And following this picture being unleashed onto the Discord, I think people thought it was so funny that they proceeded to vote for Wyatt, and he won with 12 votes. I got second with 5. Kyle had 4. Richie had 3. Jumba had 2.
Listen,
so basically
skewed
none
the
of us were
votes.
close.
I got
So-
screwed over because I think a lot of people didn't listen to the justification of the hands with Melee Macchiato. That's all I want to keep saying. They didn't hear about the hands, and they didn't hear about that you can put your dick in the gloves. I'll just say it.
Yeah,
Like, that's-
they didn't hear. They didn't hear about
Very
that.
important.
They
know
didn't hear that.
They didn't know that. I
It's
got
so
screwed
unfortunate.
over.
Yeah, they-
Same with
that they
Richie.
didn't
Sounds
hear
like
that.
Richie got kind of screwed over because they didn't
Richie
hear
got
the
screwed over a little
justification.
bit too.
If I
I
recall
did.
correctly, I'm pretty sure Richie, the 3 votes he received were actually at the time in the lead. He proceeded to receive 0 votes the rest of the way. So he was in the lead. So I got to say, hand up. That's on me, boys. I did put out a
Richie,
comedic
did you
photo
vote
that I
yourself-
think
for yourself this
gifted
time?
Wyatt
No,
the-
I didn't.
didn't vote for yourself.
I didn't vote for myself this time, but we didn't disclose that it was a spike bang. All right, I
It was a
spike
spike bang.
fucking.
It was a
This
spike
is
bang.
true.
bang.
It
It
was
was
a
a
spike
spike
bang.
bang.
Spike bang.
All right, it was a
For
spike
future
bang.
reference, I maybe will try to add some notes here in the case of certain categories such as that.
Well, we can't really
hands
add
up.
too much because we want them to listen, right? But
This
like
is
at the
actually
end of
true.
the
We
day,
do want them to listen.
yeah, you want them to listen to figure out why. Like when somebody looks at Richie's draft and they're like, why the fuck is Richie banging who's who? You want them to go listen to what Richie's justification was,
And it
for
was
why
good.
he banged who's who, and it was good. It was good. It was unfortunate
It was
that
good.
people didn't adapt and accept that as the winner there. But that's what it was, and so I was the winner of the last draft. Now, ladies and gents, this draft is this one's going to be interesting because this one kind of follows like a theme. Typically, we haven't really done like a theme. It's really usually just been like we do a random thing. This one is a legit theme. And it has to do with relationships. We've all been there, boys. You've all been in relationships before. They go bad. It sucks. They go well. It's great. We've all been there. You go on first dates. They're cool. Sometimes you go on first dates. They're terrible. Listen to Grab My Bachelor. You can hear plenty of those. There's a lot of different things that happens on dates, right? It just happens. It's part of life, dating. So this one, what we decided to do was include a lot of different elements of Call of Duty Zombies in the dating world. We're going to start off here with number 1. Which map would you go for on your first date? So you're going to take said person on this map for your first date. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to have a good time? Where are you going to take them out on a first date? Number 2, which wonder weapon gives the toothiest dome on the first date? No explanation needed any further. We're not explaining any further than that. You take that as you will, okay? You take that as you will. Number 3, which perk machine is the ex-girlfriend that you would least likely want to catch you on the date or in the act? Whichever one you want to look at, whichever way you want to explain it. It's really up to you. But the perk machine could really throw a wrench into everything. So, boys, those are our 3. We've got 3 separate things we're drafting here. A map, a perk machine, and a wonder weapon. Jay, do you have the random generator?
I do. We've got the list up. I'm clicking randomize once, twice, 3 times, and the draft order is the first overall pick is going to Kyle.
Ooh.
The second overall pick will go to me. The third overall pick will go to Wyatt. The fourth overall pick will go to Jumba, and the fifth overall pick, back-to-backs, unfortunately, once again, is Richie.
Shafted.
Damn it, Richie.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Pick back to
Damn
back.
it.
Okay,
Damn.
I have a quick question
Yes.
for the Wonder Weapon one. Can we pick something like the Ragnarok DG4s,
No.
even though technically they're not?
I think for
Wonder
this
weapons?
one, we should exclusively stick to wonder weapons. In the previous one, because we had the all 3 categories were wonder weapons, we included like the abilities and the nades. I think this one we do exclusively wonder
Like a
weapons.
gun, like something in your gun
Yeah.
slot.
Man, dude, I was gonna take the skull of Nan Sop.
Why? Why would you do that? Actually, you know what?
context.
No, explain. Don't explain it, Kyle. Don't explain it, Kyle.
Just official wonder weapons, no specialist
When
abilities,
Kyle starts doing that wheezy laugh, you know his mind is in the fucking
no skulls of
It's in a
Nansop,
bad place.
no monkey bombs,
None of that. Kyle,
just wonder
Gosh,
weapons.
damn
you've
it.
got the first overall pick, and you have everything at your disposal. What are you going to go with first?
I feel like there's a lot of good choices for the Wonder Weapon.
Do it.
And I feel like there's a lot of good choices for the perk machine as the ex-girlfriend. So I think I'm going with the map first.
Okay.
And I got it picked out because, I'm a guy, like, when you go on a date, I don't want to just do one thing and, like, go home and then you just like, yeah, that was good. I want to do a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what better place to do a bunch of shit than, you go down to Shadows of Evil, whether you got the burlesque, you go watch a boxing fight,
Mm-hmm.
You got some other shit going on. They got a library upstairs. I pretend to read a book for 30 minutes. I think that's really great. And so what better place to take your date there than go there? And then, when you go underneath into the train station, there's a giant wormhole like in the middle of the bottom of the thing where there's a guy hanging out down there. It's just the greatest thing. I think that's an awesome place.
Dinner and a
So I
show,
think it's
as someone
dinner
said.
and a show. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, so Jay, you were pick 2, correct?
Yeah. Quick clarification on the maps. Are we doing what we normally do, where it's just Treyarch only? Games
Treyarch
that we
only.
played? Are we
Treyarch
including
only.
BO4 and Call of the Dead, or not Call of the Dead, Cold War?
Yes. Let's include those.
You can include them. I'm not gonna pick them because like I haven't played, but like
Okay.
If you
I
guys
just
want
need to
to.
ask that because this does change things for me.
Okay.
And for that reason, I'm not going to go maps because I think that opens up some options for me. And I'm going to go with the perk machine, the one that I would least like to catch me in the act. And, this wasn't one that I ended up choosing for the last draft. So this wasn't my mistress. This wasn't my wife. And I definitely wasn't trying to kill this one. But she was somebody else's mistress. And I'm going to go with Melee Macchiato because I really feel like that's the one perk machine that, if she was a jealous ex, catches me getting Toothy Dome on wherever this date is going to be, and she's very upset, I think she could beat the shit out of both of us.
once again, the hands come to play.
The
here.
hands, the
hands.
literal fist, which does feel intimidating.
She's like, "Why do you want that dome when you could get these hands right here? I should have won last week."
Exactly. I'm just thinking practically, like, I don't know what a lot of the other perk machines could do to me outside of maybe like flopping on top of me. This one, like 1-2 punch, we're out cold. So I'm gonna take Melee Macchiato as my ex-girlfriend perk machine catching me in the act.
Okay. I'm gonna go with my Toothy Dome, no explanation. And
I'm interested to see what you're gonna go with this because I don't know what the 101 is with this one, but we'll see.
Listen,
I think I know the one.
I could be
101's easy.
absolutely throwing my draft here because it really just depends on how you interpret what was said.
Yes. Okay.
So, there's a lot of options, right? But
Sure.
if it's going to be
Actually,
Toothy,
I thought of one.
it at least I don't need to explain. I'm gonna go with the
No
solidifier. I'm gonna go with the solidifier. I'm gonna go with the solidifier.
thrown.
I don't need to explain,
No explanation. But
explanation.
you've thrown.
but
and
I'm
when-
gonna go with the solidifier.
You've thrown.
You've
Yeah.
definitely thrown.
You've thrown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is it me? It's
Yeah.
me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Toothiest dome, no explanation. Apothecant servant.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
See,
no explanation.
no explanation.
No
though.
explanation.
We don't need to
Straight
explain.
to Rich.
We don't need to
Richie,
explain. Richie, you're up.
That's why I said Wyatt through, by the way. So, yep.
I can't believe I got that.
We are going with the Toothiest Dome, no explanation. Scramjet. Jet
Okay.
gun.
The jet gun.
Jet gun.
Jet gun.
Dude,
That was
that was gonna be my pick.
Hey,
No.
no.
Well, don't
no
explain
explanation.
it though.
well,
Don't
Yeah,
explain
I'm
why
not-
it was going to be your pick. Yeah.
Not explaining.
I was
Don't
thinking
explain
two.
it.
I
You
was
don't need
thinking
to
two, but then I
explain it.
found the 101. I was
Richie,
like,
you're back to back.
So I'm gonna go with the perk machine that I would not want to catch me in the act. For this one, I was like, you know what? Obviously, Melee Macchiato is #1 pick. He got lucky. It is what it is. But the next best one, in my opinion, is gonna be double tap. You want to know why it's double tap? Because she's gonna shoot you twice in the head, dog. That's what's gonna happen. She's shooting you twice, bro.
True.
That's why. Double tap.
Good pick.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't want that smoke.
I feel that. I respect that actually. I respect that a lot. And now it's back to Jumba.
you know what? His double tap one made me suddenly like reconsider my answer because I had one that was probably throwing my draft, but I thought was very unique. Do I still go with it? Okay, I'm
Go
gonna
with
throw
the
it.
unique one.
I don't want who's who catching me because I feel like she's gonna like once she kills me, she then has my soul to like make me watch my dead body as it's getting the toothiest dome. So it's like it's like right,
And
so
you're
it's
just like sitting there like,
nice.
but you don't get any of the joy.
Yeah,
from
no,
it.
it's
if
just
it
like
was
my
the
spirit.
solidifier, though.
It's just my spirit, and like I could go run to try and like revive myself, but the thing is, she can just kill my spirit right after
She
that
just
too.
kill your spirit.
Like, because I can't really do much about it because that's how bad Who's Who was. So it's like,
Bro, imagine reviving yourself
Torturous bitch.
and you're just stuck in an endless loop.
that's the thing. That's the thing, right? So it's like that's where I think I don't know if this might throw because after I heard your answer, Richie, it made me think of another good one, which I'll talk about after. But I'm
We'll
just gonna
see
go with
if
Who's
Wyatt
Who.
or Kyle can snag that.
Yeah, I'm going with Who's Who.
Okay,
Wyatt,
so
back to you.
I'm gonna go with my map, and you know, I think when it comes to a place that you want to take somebody on a first date, you want to have activities, but you also want to have great scenery, right? Like you want to have just an awesome place to look at, maybe a sunset in some way, maybe even like an eclipse. So I'm gonna go with Shangri-La. I'm gonna take
bitch.
me and my
Oh,
date
man.
to Shangri-La. There's a ride that you can go down. There are monkeys. We can try to avoid those. They're gonna try to kill us. They're gonna try to take our stuff. That's all right. I'll do my best. There's also, you know, there's lots of different things you can do there. There's dead bodies everywhere. Minor snag, in my thought. Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff. You know, there's fire zombies that can, you know, set the whole place ablaze. But at the very least, there's an eclipse that we could watch together, and we could stare out at it and then be like, let's get the fuck out of here because we might die. If another guy screams in my face and blurs my vision, it might be over for both of us. It might be wraps. So I'm taking Shangri-La as my map. Shout out Shangri-La. That is my map. Jay, it's up to you.
All right, Kyle, you've taken your map, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm also going to take my map because the only person between me and the next pick is Kyle. Or actually, sorry, no, I'm going to take Toothy Dome because Kyle could also take a Toothy Dome and steal the one I want. And so the map will be guaranteed there for me when it comes back around. And, you know, I'm glad that Wyatt took what he took. No explanation as to why I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
And why it
need.
makes me glad that this one is still here. No explanation why, but I'm going to take the Paralyzer from Buried.
Great.
No explanation.
No explanation.
No need.
I mean,
The Paralyzer for these.
Wow.
I was not going to take that one, but I do see.
Wow.
I see the
See where
vision.
I do see.
No,
No,
explanation.
stop.
There's no need
explanation.
to
Don't
explain,
explain.
really.
Anyway,
There's no need
Kyle,
to
straight to
explain.
you.
Kyle.
Okay. I am going. I get back to backs, right?
Yeah.
Yes, back to backs.
Okay. So I get Toothiest Dome. Fucking hell, I can't. It's English right now. Toothiest Dome and Perk, right?
Yes, ex-girlfriend.
Okay. So for my Toothiest Dome, I just thought about this one. I thought it would just be funny. I'm gonna take the Blundergat.
Sure. No
Yeah.
explanation.
no explanation.
No explanation.
What's your ex-girlfriend?
My ex-girlfriend. For that one, I'm gonna take Deadshot Daiquiri.
Yep.
Because if she shoots me in the fucking dome piece while I'm getting some toothy dome, it'll be the worst.
Jumbo,
I'll
was
go out like a champ.
that the perk you were thinking of?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll see if Wyatt can take it then. We'll see.
Okay, back to Jay.
Back to me, and I'm taking my map where we're going to take me and the Paralyzer, and hopefully Melee Macchiato does not show up.
Fuck.
And there's a couple options
Hold on.
here.
I thought you
And-
were saying my answer.
No, I don't think you know where I'm going to go here. We got a couple options, and I didn't think that all of them were going to fall to me. But ultimately, when I look at the variety of maps, I really want to wow her. You know, if I want to get the greatest of Toothy Dome, I want her
The
to
best.
be just blown away
Yeah,
by
literally.
where I would take her on a first
After
date.
she, then she blows you away.
Yes,
you
and
know?
no explanation. And I just think that there's one specific place that it's like, man, not only do I always have a great time playing this map, but I feel like, you know, we'd have a great time there together. It'd be really interesting. It'd also maybe show her how wealthy I am. We're gonna go to the moon.
Oh,
We're gonna
bastard.
take Elon Musk's
There you go.
rocket
getting
up
that
to the
in
moon.
the third round
Wow.
is
That is
great.
crazy.
Yeah,
So many maps
was-
didn't even cross my mind.
I'll explain.
I was thinking Ascension too, but not Moon.
I was gonna take it in the second round, but then, like I said, I thought of the Kyle thing where he had already taken his map, so I could get it in third. There is another map that I'll explain afterwards if no one takes it or when someone takes it. That I was my backup option, but I'm glad we got Moon. So
Both my fucking options
incredible.
were taken.
That's incredible. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the worst perk for me to get caught getting just dental dome. Just the worst.
Don't
Just
explain.
the
Don't
worst.
explain.
There's no
call me-
explanation.
Doug Dental Dome.
And it would be stamina up for me because I'm not outrunning stamina up. I'm not fast enough. They're gonna catch me, and it's gonna be bad. And I'm not. It's just a bad time for me overall. It's just
Was
gonna
that the
be a
machine?
bad time for me.
Yeah.
That was my machine.
That was
not
not
the
the
one?
machine. That was
Okay,
not the machine.
everybody's taking their perk machine, right?
No, I
Yes.
think. Oh, has everyone?
Wyatt?
That was
Yeah,
my
I think
last. That was my
everybody
last pick.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought Richie did. I
Richie,
thought.
you took your perk
Yeah,
machine.
Yeah, he did
took
it
double
first because
tap.
he
So what
made
was
me
the
think
one
of
you
it.
were thinking?
I thought it was electric cherry because she's just gonna fucking electrocute your.
We
no
don't have to
explanation.
explain.
No
Yeah,
explanation.
explain.
We don't.
We
Yeah.
don't have to explain.
Anyway,
Because I don't want to explain too much.
Jumbo's pick.
To me, for map, okay, you know, it's gonna be really hard to beat Jay's map. His map made me almost feel upset about my answer because he's right. Like, yeah, you want to like show off, but at the same time, it's a first date, and maybe I just want to do something casual. Maybe I just don't like. I don't want to like go too overboard because what if I don't like
Yeah.
her? What if
Yeah, because like, what if she
I don't want to
sucks,
explain it? But what if
literally?
the toothy dome's not?
She sucks.
No
That's all.
explanation.
It's no explanation, but it's like, yeah.
No explanation.
Yeah. So, but like this place kind of fits more the bill of what Kyle did and has everything I feel. That is buried, right?
Ooh.
Hear me out. Let me walk you through the map. I actually have because I have a map right here on my second screen. I'll
Oh, hell yeah.
send
When
this
you
to
got
Jay.
upset, I realized that's where you thought I was
Because
going.
I thought you said
the
bury
paralyzer.
with paralyzed. Yes,
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, yeah.
hear me out. There's a casino and a bar. We start for some drinks, right?
Sure.
Right next door, there's a candy shop. I grab her some candy
Okay.
and everything like that. You know, it's always good. We continue working through, and you know I've been on dating apps for probably about 2.5, 3 years now because like I haven't had a serious relationship. And something I noticed about every woman, I think something I noticed about every woman is they all
Yes.
love fucking horror. So what do we got there?
Haunted
We got the
house.
ghost house. We got the haunted house, the cemetery that we walk through. Great for a first date into a fun maze. Do a fun maze activity,
Yep.
right? Now,
Or-
say this date is going really good. There's a courthouse and a church there. We can get married.
Oh, wow.
We can get
That's
married
it.
on the spot.
This is the best
guys.
explanation I've
And
ever
then
heard.
The last
As
thing
long as
too-
that ex-girlfriend doesn't get you.
yeah, as long as the ex-girlfriend doesn't catch me. But then the last thing is, if we have some fun, if we spend a lot of time there, we have a nice little gun range to do like some more fun activities.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
can-
Sure.
we can shoot the targets and stuff. So
Yeah, you can shoot the
you know,
targets.
I was thinking about
and not
that.
say
Yeah.
that you missed any.
I also thought you were going to say that you would be getting Toothy Dome at the wishing well in the middle of the maze.
I didn't really think about where I was getting Toothy Dome because there's so many places I get it.
That's just where I thought if I
Gunsmith
went
shop,
there, I'd get it.
church, maze. In the maze, come on. Toothy Dome in the maze.
If
no
I had to pick
explanation.
a spot, it'd be in the theater back at my place. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wait,
Richie
Kyle, what
was
was the
going to
map
say
you picked?
something.
I
Oh,
picked Shadows of Evil.
Oh, okay.
Shadows of Evil.
Yeah.
Richie
Yes,
had something else there.
I'm sitting in the theater, sprawled out.
I was gonna say
Biodome.
for,
Biodome.
Biodome to get some toothy.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
for buried, it could all turn bad if she thinks that you're trying anything funky in that maze. You might
Yeah.
get a little creeped out. You know what I mean? You gotta
Yeah.
play it safe. So the maze is like once you get a feel for it, you know.
yeah. That could
You gotta
be
get a
after
feel
we
for
get
the
married.
maze.
That could be after we get married.
Yeah, it's the honeymoon.
Yeah, there also is only one thing that might be a problem that I have to avoid, and that is the noose and the guillotine. So yeah,
Yeah.
just have to
Maybe
avoid those
Cletus
two.
as
Where
well.
are they?
I was going to say, there
Cletus?
is that freak Cletus watching you the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I just
gotta
give him
avoid
some
that
It
guy.
might
hands.
make her a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, but if I smack him, he goes to jail.
Keep him in the jail cell. You'll be all right.
Who's that guy? Oh, that's my boy. Don't pay attention to him.
Hey, don't worry about him. Get out of
He's,
here.
he's holding the camera.
Pull out the gun. Get the fuck out of here, Cletus.
My boy over there thinks you're cute. Is Cletus holding the jail like the doors? Yeah. Okay, Rich, you're
Well,
the
here's
last
good
pick.
thing, though. Maybe you could set up your ex-girlfriend with Cletus. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
If the date doesn't go bad, be like, hey, listen, you're great, and my boy. I mean, he's in a jail cell, but he didn't do it.
He does
I
have
know.
a drinking problem, but he's working
I-
on it.
I have
He has
Cletus
a
just,
drinking problem and a sweet tooth, but if you,
Once you get past that, he's
if you
really
can
a great
figure
guy.
that out.
I have Cletus
all
just
good.
pick her up like a crawler, and I just leave.
Yeah, Yeah, there you go.
I'm not about to explain anything that I just
No.
thought of.
no explanation. Richie,
explanation.
you are the final pick.
All right, so Wyatt
I was gonna
took.
say Eiffel Tower. Anyway, no explanation.
No explanation.
Anyway.
None.
Your
So,
Baldican does have 2 holes.
That got banned, Jay. That got banned.
No, this. Richie, go ahead. Finish
Richie, go ahead.
So both of my maps were taken. I was pretty upset, but I had a third one.
What were your maps?
Shangri-La and Moon.
Okay, yeah.
But so here's the thing: is Shangri-La, is it romantic? Yeah, but you know what? There's that whole threat of getting attacked by monkeys or random wildfire, right? That just
We could also get
explodes.
spiked at any moment if we walk in the wrong
Yeah,
spot.
lots of booby traps there, right? And Moon, you know what? You can show off the money, all right? Because what I'm really here for is I'm here for long term, baby. I'm a hopeless.
That's why you date,
romantic.
right?
Exactly. And
What a
and-
complete turnaround from last draft where Richie was not there for the good reasons.
Well, I've grown and I've changed since then. I'm a changed man, and I'm a hopeless
matured.
romantic. And there's nothing more romantic than setting sail. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Voyage of Despair because look,
That was my backup. What's
It's
more
a-
romantic than the Titanic?
I was thinking that one
Exactly.
too. I was thinking that one
Because
too.
It's
Yeah.
one of the
Guess what?
great romantic movies.
And guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna,
People survive, right?
go. Hopefully the door's
But the
big enough for the
romance.
both of us. So here's what's gonna happen: is right, we're gonna take this weekend getaway on a cruise ship, and it's perfect because my ex double tap won't be able to shoot me from that far away.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
Not gonna be able to double tap. me.
Didn't get on the boat.
board.
And, We're gonna listen to some live music, right? Some live jazz that's going on. We're gonna get some drinks at the bar, and then once we're getting a little vibe going and everything, I'm gonna take her to the front of the boat, and all bro, she's gonna be saying, "I'm flying, Rich," and then she's gonna take flight with me with the jet gun. No explanation.
No
No
explanation. needed.
explanation.
No explanation.
No explanation needed. It's just a romantic date for two people who are in love.
And the boat may sink, but I'm gonna keep her afloat.
Yeah, because you
You know,
guys
first-
will both fit on the door.
Some may say the first and last date.
If it goes badly,
you
if
go.
it goes badly, yes.
Well, it did, but
If it
Double
goes badly,
tap, stuck
Richie's
aboard.
just up
Yeah.
at the helm, just let's go to this glacier. Just fucking turn
My ex double
the
tap
fuck is that?
is gonna be
Double
waiting on an
Tap is the
iceberg,
one who rammed the ship into the glacier.
and then they made a movie about us.
Yes.
there we go. I love that. That's a great draft. Kyle, you were the first pick. You want to run through your picks real fast?
Yes. Let me try to recall them all as I'm fixing this in my brain. All right. So for my map, I chose Shadows of Evil.
Nice.
There's lots of stuff to do there. Good places to get some toothy dome at.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of stuff to do, hang out. For my gun to give me toothy dome, I picked the blunderbuss.
Mhm.
No explanation needed.
We don't need it.
And then for my ex that would find me, get the toothiest dome of all time, I picked Deadshot Daiquiri. 'cause
Why'd
that
you
would
say
be
it
the
like
worst
that?
one humanly possible.
Yeah. Jay, you're up.
All right. I can't remember what order I took him in, but for my toothy dome, we took the paralyzer. There's something I want to say, but no explanation needed. So
You
I'm
don't
not
need
gonna
it, though.
Say it.
Yeah,
no
you don't need it.
You
explanation
don't need it
needed.
there.
Where we're gonna be getting toothy dome is gonna be on the moon. That's the first date. I'm gonna
Might
really.
be the best if Jumbo didn't
show
have the
her-
craziest explanation.
I'm gonna show her my wealth. I do think Jumbo's explanation might have taken it over the top. But yeah, we're gonna take her to the moon. We're gonna, go all the way up there. Hopefully, my ex cannot follow me and catch me up there. I do think, in terms of distance, we've got a pretty good lead to get away from her. And my ex that I really don't want to catch me with the paralyzer on the moon with is going to be Melee Macchiato, because I feel like she will
Knock you out.
beat the shit out of both of us.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I went pick number one. I kind of threw. I went with a solidifier, and if I could explain, maybe it would help me, but I can't. So there's no way to get out of that. Number 2, I went with Shangri-La as my date place. It's a tropical island with a sunset, an eclipse, a waterfall, a nice
And
little ride.
traps everywhere.
There's traps everywhere. You might die. You might sink in the quicksand, but we could avoid that. And then lastly, my perk that I would not want to get caught with would be Stamina Up, because Stamina Up is faster and will catch me. And so I just want to make sure that would be the one that would suck, so to speak. Jumba.
So my map was buried, as we talked about, because of just
Great explanation.
everything I could do there. The haunted houses, I think, is actually the S tier thing there. Just, dude, too many like horror movies on first dates and stuff like that I've seen. So I think that just slaps. But then, like I said, we could get married right then and there. So there's that. No explanation absolutely needed at all for this one.
None.
Because I think everyone gets it. Apothecary servant for the Toothiest Dome, and then my ex, I don't want me finding me, was who's who, because I don't want her to I guess kill
Make
me
you
and then
watch.
hold my spirit hostage. So yeah.
And then Richie.
Yes, so I went with the toothiest of domes that you could ever get by the jet gun. All right, and
That would suck. Literally.
my map that I'm gonna be going on for my date, bro. It's gonna be a weekend getaway on a nice little cruise ship called the Voyage of Despair. All
Or the
right?
Titanic.
Or the Titanic. And for my perk that I do not want me catching, or I don't want to catch me getting the toothiest dome of all time while on the Titanic, is going to be double tap, because I do not want to get shot twice. I feel like that's going to be the most painful way to go.
Yeah, you'd rather just get shot once.
Yeah,
and then
like
just
Yeah.
fades to black.
yeah.
There's a chance you might not even die from the 2 shots.
That's
too.
that's also
At
true.
least Kyle
And then you
dies.
just
Where-
bleed out.
Where's she
you know?
shooting me
Kyle dies.
twice? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Exactly. Well, ladies and gents, that should just about do it for the draft, and that should just about do it for this week's episode of Pack a Pod. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate it. Don't forget, you guys can join the Discord, which, by the way, is a Discord that is technically for Apex Legends, but we do have a section for Pack a Pod. Also, a lot of life stuff. The GMB Discord has been great for that, whether it's working out, relationship advice, whatever you may need, it's all there. But you can also talk zombies, you can also talk Apex, you can also talk life stuff, whatever you want to do. And then, other than that, if you guys are listening on audio, you can go check it out on YouTube. You can see what we all look like. And then also just checking out everybody else's individual channels. We got Jumba, who is a dog on Apex. We got Jayhawk, who is a dog on Apex. He just got his password back, posted a new video. It's all there. It's all available. And if you just love the boys and the camaraderie, we've got plenty of pods here. We've got Grab My Bachelor banner. We've got the Apex with me and Jumps. We've got everything. It's all there for you. You can go listen to us nonstop if you truly, really wanted to. And that's just about it. Once again, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Pack a Pod. We will catch you guys next week or whatever day we decide to record. We're probably going to play the new map a little bit, not going to lie to you, so it might be a little bit longer than a week, but we will catch you guys very soon for another episode of Pack a Pod. We'll see you guys soon. See ya.